All right, guys, welcome. This camera's killing me. Oop. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not orange. That's perfect. I'll eventually get this camera thing figured out, guys. Welcome to another live stream. Always good to have you guys. We actually have people here early. That's cool. It doesn't happen all the time, though. We are finally starting to actually schedule these and try to have a little more consistency than I have in the past. Literally, this is like maybe the second time I've actually scheduled a live stream. So welcome, guys. How's everyone doing tonight? We got 5 people in here. Nick, are you still with us? I see you commented like 30 minutes ago. And of course, guys, as people are pouring in here, don't forget to hit that like button already, guys. I'm going to harp on that. We have 2 goals tonight. 3 goals. We got 3 goals. 1, have the largest live stream we've had yet. We'll find out if that actually happens. Number 2, have the most likes we've ever gotten. I'll have to pull up and see how many likes we got 2 weeks ago, which I actually think that was our most liked one ever. So we got to compete with that. We got to break that record. And of course, as always, answer your questions, hang out, and have a good time. So you guys should know how this kind of goes. This really, you guys lead this as much as you want. And then when we have some downtime, I kind of take over and start really talking about literally anything truck related I can think of. Actually, when I'm not working, you rock, man. Hey, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. So here's my question. So again, I've been really trying to schedule these so you guys can actually participate as much as possible. What does this time work well for you guys? That's really my question. How late do some of you guys work? If I remember, you work crazy late. I don't know that I'm going to be able to accommodate that. But would an hour later be better for some people? I'm going to ask that throughout this live stream, because obviously people will be coming in and out as we go. But I hope everyone's doing well. I'm super excited to. It's been a busy week on the channel. Chris, how you doing, brother? It's been a very busy week on the channel. We had the Ford Edge video with brakes, which obviously I expected to do pretty poor, but it should help some guys out there. So that kid went live this week. You work 24-hour shifts. Man, dude, 24-hour shifts. That's great. What do you do, brother? You a firefighter or something, or a doctor at a hospital? I mean, I don't know if doctors still do this. Once upon a time, doctors would literally work on weekends, like 24-hour shifts. Firefighter. Hey, man, thank you for what you do, brother. Appreciate that. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Jeremy, thank you. I'm glad. I hope you like it. I did see we had 3 shirt sales this week. I was super excited about that. It's cool. You guys have been asking. Obviously, I got mine. This was one of the original premium shirts done. Look how crooked this is. It's not even close, but I believe we have that fixed for all the future ones, which is why as soon as a new product goes live, I always buy it the second I see that it's live so that I can get it. And if there's any issues, hopefully take it down right away. But see, we have some questions here. Make sure I'm good. All right. When you change the injector, sure. So Sean, funny story about that. I don't know. I don't actually have an answer for that because my thing in the white truck needs fixed. And I obviously don't have that truck right now. I do have it. I own it. I didn't sell it, guys. The white truck's not going anywhere. But I haven't fixed mine, so I don't know. I will say the only time I ever saw my mileage calculator be super far off is if I did something like if I drove really conservative for like half a tank and then I just beat on it the other half. That tended to throw it off. But if I was like consistently hard on it the whole time, it was accurate. If I was consistently conservative on it, it was accurate. It was only when I did those very like mixed styles of driving that I noticed it lost its accuracy. All right. have a ceramic coating or some kind of coating. So I forget what kind of coating BD Diesel puts on their the BD Diesel does put some kind of coating on it. I just don't know what it is. But I didn't do anything special on top of that. I will say, depending on when it comes apart and what all needs done to get it back on the road, if I can, I will put some stuff on there. I wouldn't mind putting, just because I think it's a great product already. I would like it to last long. So it's more of a protective thing than anything else, but I see how they've held up fine so far. I don't have any issues with them. I'm a super big fan. BD Diesel exhaust manifolds, I think, are like the best bang for the buck out there. They're high quality. They have super thick flanges, so when they're mounting against the block where it's hottest, it fights against warping. They come with gaskets. The 6.7 ones I got, I'm trying to think. I don't know if they've been on the channel yet or not. They did send me out a pair for the 6.7 of their manifolds. I purchased the ones on my 6-liter. They did send me a set for my 6.7. I just haven't put them on yet, but I really just like their products, and they've held up fine. And I'm in Pennsylvania. It gets fairly salty here, not crazy, and I'm really good about washing my vehicles after it snows. So, and even like a couple days later, I'll wash it again just to make sure I get everything off of there. But for manifolds, I think for 99% of drivers out there, BD Diesel is the way to go, and you'll be happy with them. That other 1%, you're probably going to want something custom made, because my guess would be you're drag racing, or you're pooling, or you're not talking 5, 6, even 800 horsepower. You're talking 9,000, 1,100. Those guys, I would say probably go get something custom made. I know Harrington Diesel was a big company for that for a while. I don't know if they're still a thing. So let me pull up here. I think I may be a little behind. Ninja, what's up, brother? Glad you could make it. Good to have you here. So the coating does last, I will say that. Could it look better? A little bit. Mind you, my truck gets really hot sometimes. I mean, my truck has seen 16, almost 1,700 degrees more than once down the track. So bear that in mind as you're making that decision. I think ceramic coating can be relatively affordable. So, I don't think it's a terrible idea, but definitely it's far from a necessity at the same time. Let's see here. Sean, I will say, again, I know you're talking about the calculator here. I will say, I saw an increase in fuel economy when I went to a bigger bodied injector, but I kept a stock nozzle, so I don't know. And I would guess my guess on that would be with the larger nozzle, what really would be affected is if you were conservative in your driving, you probably wouldn't see much of a change. But if you, and that was hand calculated, not by the meter in the truck. But with the bigger nozzle, as I say, when you get rowdier on the street, you probably have a higher chance of really dropping that fuel economy, if that's what you're kind of asking. Sean, I can't remember what injector size did you go with, or what injector size are you looking at? Yeah, Jeremy, I'm excited about putting them on the 6.7. It's just the problem with that is I don't know how. I have two worries about that. One, those freaking exhaust bolts I hear break all the time on the 6.7s, and I do not have a lot of luck. I don't have a lot of practice getting bolts out. So I don't really want to mess, I'm a little worried to mess with that, but I want to do the how-to video. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I was considering tearing down and doing a side at a time so I could hopefully have everything back together in time to, I don't know. I do plan, the BD Diesel comes with all new studs for the exhaust manifolds on the 6.7 and gaskets. So has everything you need. I do want to get, I know it's technically an up pipe, but kind of crossover pipes for the turbo inlet from the exhaust manifolds over, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do. I definitely want to do that. A lot of shops apparently pull the cab for that. I know you don't need to pull the cab for that. That's one thing I can definitively say. It doesn't mean that pulling the cab doesn't make it a lot easier, though. Let's see here. I know I'm getting behind. OJ, I am considering doing headers on a 6-liter soon, so it doesn't look terrible to get to, other than some awkward positions, but all in all, it doesn't look bad. I will say I'll probably be very liberal in using some heat and a lot of penetrating oil, so I don't have to deal with broken bolts, because that is when that job turns into a nightmare. I say we have a Y pipe sitting at Josh's house. I'm hoping to soon be able to buy some manifolds for him to get on that truck before winter, hopefully. Yeah, Chris, so those the BD Diesel Throttle sensitivity, I don't have any experience with any other ones. I know there's a lot of other ones out there. In full disclosure, BD did send it to me. I did approach them because I liked it. And that's when they told me that I liked the idea of it. And that's when they told me about their version 3 coming out. They sent that to me and for a review. How'd you guys like that video? I don't know if it shows. There's a ton of editing in that video to try to really make that a good video. I hope it came out as well as for as much work as I put in it. I don't know if it did. Sometimes I'm super critical of myself in these videos, but it was I like it. I recommend it. It's kind of cool because there are times driving the 6-liter that I wish I could turn the throttle down without changing my tune, especially in like the rain and stuff. Like if it's just a really rainy day and I have a race tune on, if like an event's coming up, it'd be nice just to pop the throttle down to negative 25% and keep going. Or if I want to turn it up a little bit and have fun, you know, it's a mod. I got to tell you, I thought I was going to hate the throttle sensitivity booster. I really did. But I was really intrigued because guys were raving about them. So that's what gave me the idea for it. And I got to tell you, I probably will end up putting one in the 6-liter at some point, obviously when it's back, but at some point I'll probably put one in the 6-liter just because it's cool, you know. And while I don't want anyone to just spend money for the sake of spending money, it's something you can turn off without unplugging it. You know, if it's something you're like, this doesn't do much for me, but you can turn it off. You know what I mean? It's not like a permanent thing or something that's a super big pain in the butt to pull in and out. And like I said, you can just turn it off. Mine's mounted in super discreet. Like you wouldn't think it's a discreet location, but it's really out of the way. So I'm really enjoying it. I recommend it. Now, I think within the next couple weeks, the ones for the 03, 04 6-liters should be out on their website. Just check their website is the best place to find that stuff. BD does make up pipes for your 03. Common misconception. There's literally like no changes in them. Are you still emissions compliant? I guess is my next question. I've heard good things about MBRP, but I do know there's some fitment stuff as far as needing to dent like a heat shield or something to really get them in there. I've heard about. As far as durability, I've heard good stuff from MBRP in that department. I like MBRP, the company. I will say that I don't have any personal experience with their up pipes, just what I've seen. So I guess, do you have, what did I miss up here? I missed something. If you're smart about it and stud's not bad, I wasn't smart and fought me all day. I don't really know what that's about. Anyway, so for those, no emissions for me. Hold on, wait, I am behind. Man, you guys are way ahead of me. And another thing, we have 15 people and only 12 likes. So guys, get on those likes. We need to keep that up all night long. Anyway, let me get back to this. You guys are on fire tonight, and I need to get caught up. Wookie, if you're looking, I do know that BD Diesel just released some bolts for the exhaust manifolds on 6 liters. I'm probably going to use them when we do Josh's trucks. Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad I could help. Carter. We'll go with Carter. I like Carter a little more. Carter, you're welcome, brother. Glad I can help, and I hope you enjoy the live streams, man. I need to get through these so I can caught back up. Yeah, the bolts are always the biggest fear. Yeah, that's my biggest fear with all manifolds is dealing with the bolts and getting them out without them cracking. Or the 6.7 uses studs from the factory, but the studs tend to stretch like bolts, which is unfortunate. Excuse me. Didn't get my exhaust studs in time, so I'm stuck placement. Man. So Ninja, funny story about the 64 millimeter turbo and Josh's truck. No, we did not get it on. It is planned when I pull that Y pipe. Basically, what the goal is, and I got to sell this to Josh. I don't even know if Josh watches the live streams anymore. So maybe this is the best way to break it to him that I want to work on his truck. The goal is to get exhaust manifolds. He was talking about wanting to drive it this winter. So he typically drives an Explorer in the winter. At least, well, last year he got an Explorer to keep miles off his Mustang because he has a 2016 Mustang. And then he was talking about driving the truck, which has done a lot of sitting. The truck needs some love. It does. Some stuff needs to come apart, new stuff on. The long and short, I'd like to get BD manifolds for him, do that. He has my O-Dog Y pipe. I gave it to him after I put the BD Y pipe on my 6 liter. So I'd like to take that. I'd like to put that on for him. What else? And then drop the turbo on. Because with the 64 millimeter turbo, you don't actually need tuning. Now, it will help with throttle response. It will make it a better ride or driving experience with some light tuning, at least to accommodate the larger size. They can mess with the fueling a little bit without really increasing any risk of blowing head gaskets. He would only ever run a tow tune. That's the goal for that truck, is a tow tune. And I know some people get a little critical of 35-inch tires, but it's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. OJ, yes, with the tune, that is correct. Some 6 liters do not pop up with a check engine light for that, though. Oh, well, I answered your next one there. What's funny is I have an early truck. My 6 liter is an early 04. It's not supposed to throw a code if it's deleted, but when I did, it did throw a check engine light. It was a super frustrating thing. Your truck, you are emissions compliant. So Wookie, I would, not that I'm advocating for the deleting of any federally mandated emissions on any on-road vehicle ever. We don't do that on this channel. Delete it now. For the drag racing and off-road use only that truck sees. Honestly, that's the easiest, best way to do it. But I will have to look into that more and find out. I can actually reach out to BD. I need to send them an email anyway about the video going live. So I talk, I'm in very loose conversations occasionally with a few people there. So I can ask them if there's any plans for that. The emissions compliant BD diesel Y pipe is new this year, I believe. So I don't know what they're going with there. But I'll look into that for you, man. See what I can't find out for you. All right. So Wookie, I would, it depends. So the last time I found studs for 6 liter manifolds, they were like $150. I don't know if that's still the case. The kit I was looking at from BD Diesel, and I will say they have high quality stuff. I do really like them. And that's probably what we'll use on Josh's truck is their bolt kit with new spacers. I think budget-wise, I think that's a great option. Now, studs is obviously preferable. So if you can get that, I would, but I also wouldn't spend $150 on studs over just getting the BD bolts. My personal opinion. All right, so finally getting caught up in these comments. I love when you guys make me work for it, though. It's fun. Super enjoying this, and great job on the likes. 27 likes and 19 people. This is like a first that I have more likes than people in here, so that's a super good sign, guys. And we're only 20 minutes into this. Look at that. You guys are killing it tonight. I love it. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm kind of leery. So, Chris, with the throttle sensitivity booster, it does not. It definitely does not increase timing. It's like, so it'd be like, so like I would say street mode is kind of almost like it takes that lag you might have out of it. And I don't know how the 05, 07 6 liters are because I don't have a bunch of wheel time around them. And what time I did drive them was like 9 years ago. So it's been a while. But what it does do is it's like when you just kind of start feathering it, it's like you're a little past quarter throttle as opposed to feathering it in. You know, it increases that. In the 6.7, it's very, very apparent that in the first couple gears, they really pull back on your throttle. So when you have it, when you start like, you know, going in, when you're on streets, what I drive on all the time, it's not, yeah, is it a 50% increase in throttle? It is very noticeable, don't get me wrong, but it's not over the top. But it's great. I do like it. Is it going to add performance the same way a race tune would add performance? No, absolutely not. Throttle sensitivity boosters don't add performance the same way a tune does. It just changes the sensitivity of your pedal. That's it. So there are very different realms. It is cool to be able to kind of fine tune your driving experience. For instance, my dad's 7.3, we put a tune on it, and it's a good tune from DP Tuner. I think it's DP Tuner. It's been a while since I looked into this stuff for the old 7.3, and it's fun to drive. It's a good tune. It's clean, whatever. It's really, really touchy down low. Literally makes my dad think he has a race truck. It's the funniest thing in the world. Ever since he did that, every time my 6 liter would be over there, like, oh, I got the power of the 7.3. Yeah, Dad, it's not making anywhere near the power my 6 liter does. Well, right now it is, but that's because have lost compression on a cylinder. But it'd be cool in that truck where it's so over the top down low to actually pull back throttle for normal driving. And then when you want to beat someone at the stoplight, crank it up. Let's see here. I got behind again. Jeremy Studded. Chris, I don't know who Emissions is. I hear he's not a super cool guy, though. Carter, next time I'm probably going to stop by the shop next week, and I'll go out and pop the hood to the truck and kind of show you how it's wired up. I don't love the fast wiring harness. I think for the price of them, I think the wiring harness could have been nicer. So there's some stuff I want to do to clean that install up, and that's completely unnecessary, but literally it's just like wires running up to the batteries. It's not complex at all. So I think they could have done a nicer job with that. There is a relay. I think it's a relay and a fuse in line there as well. So, but it's not super hard. Not, at least not that I saw. Let's see here. Wookie, I gotta tell you, I have zero pull at BD Diesel. So please keep that that in perspective. I can ask them if there's any plans that they know of, and I can see why they wouldn't want to invest the time in that, because it's a fraction of the trucks out there. Now, things you could do, not that you necessarily want to. Wookie, which intake manifold do you have? Do you have the one that has the cross member in the back of it? Do you know? because if you don't, there is something you could do. Let's see here. Chris, that's a valid point. Really is. Let's see here. We're gonna call you X. X-Raw. I don't know. X. Tips on flushing a cooling system on 6 liters. It's been a while since I flushed them. The biggest thing is it's going to be a mess. My first recommendation would literally be to realize you're going to make a mess. Pull the block plugs on each side. There's one on each side of the block. Undo them, and then sorry, looking at a question I need to get to in a minute. And then I would literally flush it with your garden hose and flush the crap out of it. Once that's done, Nick, I just saw your comment. You know, what's funny is I tell my dad that all the time. Like even down a cylinder, I'd still beat you in a race. He loves that 7. I love that 7.3 too. It's just slow, but it's fun to drive. It's a nice street truck. It really is for a daily driver. My old man 7.3 is a fun truck. It's nothing crazy, but you know, it's fun to drive. You can spin the tires pretty easy on it. I love it. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted during the flushing 6 liter. And before we get back to flushing 6 liters, if you guys haven't hit that like button, smash that like button, guys. That's one of the records we're breaking today. And we're really only like 9 people, or 10. We lost one. It didn't like me telling them to hit the like button. We're like 10, 11 people off from like the highest live stream we've ever had at one time. So that'd be pretty cool if we can hit that record tonight as well. The night is young, so we got time. Coolant flushing. Use your garden hose, flush the crap out of it. When it's all clear, I would still probably flush it a little bit, then let it all drain out. And pull your thermostat out. The spring, pull that out so your thermostat runs wide open. And that way you definitely flush your radiator and the block out. Once that's all clear, put your thermostat back in. No, I wouldn't put your thermostat back in. Sorry, it's been a while. I'm getting confused. And then I'd start distilled flushing it. Drain everything out the best you can. I would do 2 or 3 distilled flushes. Then I would do one final distilled flush. I'd fill up with concentrate of whatever you want. I use CAT EC1 rated coolant. And some guys love Ford Gold. Here's the thing with Ford Gold. Ford Gold's actually really good coolant, except for the fact it doesn't last for crap. Every 30,000 miles, you need to flush Ford Gold out. That's the problem. As far as cooling goes, fantastic. Durability and life, 30,000 mile coolant needs flushed out. I got to get it out of my darn 6.7. I'm not happy. There's 2 cooling systems on that thing. It's going to be an expensive day. And I need to do some research on it. Honestly, my 6.7 might stay with Ford Gold, but for my 6 liter, it's CAT coolant, and I love it. EC1 rated. There's a CAT dealer right by Greg's at Diesel Automotive. I just scoot over there and pick up a big container of it. All right. And Chris, now if I would have just taken 2 seconds to look, you already talked about the block plugs. I haven't had the chance. Well, so let me rephrase that. My Fickum hasn't gone out. Now, my Fickum was only like 6 months old when I bought the truck. They had to put a new one in it. So I have a reman one from like 2011. And I bought it in 2011. No, I bought it in 12. So it was a pretty new Fickum. I've had it out a million times. If you have questions on it, Josh, we changed the power supply on his truck. And Chris, correct. It just kind of helps wake up the truck so you don't have to floor it every time, pretty much. It's cool. I think most people would enjoy a throttle sensitivity booster, but again, it doesn't replace the tuning and exhaust intakes, turbos, injectors, those things. It's not the same as that. So, okay, so you have a 2007. So for you, if you get one of the power supply boards, So we're gonna call you 07. Do you have, are you looking to change just the power board or the whole thickum first? Would be my question. Either way, they're super easy to change. I'm just trying to find out if I can give you a link to something or not. And then while I'm waiting for that, let me get up here, make sure I'm up. Doom, what's up, brother? How you doing? I'm sorry I didn't see you in here. Did not mean to ignore you, man. Good to have you here. Wookie, I'm referring to your intake manifold. So the early intake manifolds had so it was the big horseshoe thing, and there was a crossover pipe in the rear. Do you have that piece specifically? It's not your up pipe I'm talking about. It's just the hold on, intake manifold. Sorry. 1603. I've heard of guys running stock 6 liters over 500,000 miles. I've heard of guys destroying them under 100. I would say on average, most people will blow head gaskets in the first 200,000 miles. If you make it to 200,000 with factory head gaskets still, you're probably one of the guys that's going to be very lucky and not run into that for a while, provided you don't beat the crap out of your truck. As far as full rebuilds go, that's kind of all over the place, as it is with most trucks. Sniping, yes, 6.7 uses the orange coal, and I still believe it's technically Ford Gold, but I'm not sure exactly the difference. Going to be doing mine in the 6.7. Sniping, are you talking about coolant? Sorry, I was a little behind on this. Are you talking about flushing your coolant on your truck that you're going to be doing on the 6.7? Mongoose, Warren 155 injectors in a tune. Your truck idles really low, and when it gets warm, it starts to buck for about 30 seconds, then clears and does it again once I drive. That's odd. So my first question is, have you changed any of your other tunes to see if it does it? See if it's in the tuning. 07, do you have, what is your check engine code? So Mongoose, you have changed your tuning, and this is probably the hardest live stream for people that'll watch this later to follow that aren't looking at the live chats as we're going. All right. We're going to finish sniping first, and then we're going to go to Mongoose. So sniping, coolant-wise, I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I was thinking about keeping with Ford just because it's simple and easy, and just having that maintenance all the time. Can somebody look up the code P0611 for a 6 liter and tell me exactly what it says? And I'll be able to help you with that, man. If not, I'll look it up in a minute. Sniping, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with coolant in the truck. I have considered switching to CAT. I just want to do some research and make sure no one's having any issues switching over to CAT. But there's a decent chance I'll just stick with the Ford stuff and just drain all of it out and top it all off with fresh stuff. Wookie, if you don't have that, what you could do is get the BD kit and get a late style EGR. Why is this doing that nonsense? I'm orange and I don't like it. Maybe too much of that. There we go. So you could get a newer style EGR that'll bolt up to that manifold and get the other style, get the BD pipe, or you could just pull that out, delete it, and get the cool BDY pipe that I'm a big fan of. Other than that, if you rock, the MB RP1, man, once you get it fitted in there, I think the heat shield's an issue, is what people were having problems with. You might just need to take the heat shield off. I don't run one on mine. I've not seen any issues. So now my up pipes are heat wrapped. but I don't think it's making that big of a difference to begin with. Plus, honestly, if you're going on a 2-hour cruise or 6, I mean, my trip to South Carolina is roughly 11 hours is my best time towing a 13,000-pound camper. I don't think any heat shield's stopping any heat from getting to those sensors and protecting them. Personal opinion, I know some people get a little goofy about their heat shields, but I just don't think they're that big. I don't think they're that helpful in duration when you're talking about a heat-soaked engine bay. And anyone that disagrees with that, I say this. Go tow for that duration, open your hood. Don't even open your hood. Walk by the front of your truck and feel the heat coming off your front fenders. It's that bad. So I don't think those heat shields do a whole heck of a lot. Only does it on hot street. Mongoose, then I'm going to say I'd have that tuning tweaked for that tune to try to fix that. I would contact your tuner and let them know it's only doing it on that tune. They'll probably give you a revision, and you should be good to go from there. If your other tunes aren't doing it, then I don't think you have an issue with your setup. I think there's a discrepancy in your tuning. It does happen and I'm not saying the tuner did anything wrong. Some trucks just, for my experience, Innovative Diesel Performance, who I use their tunes to race in the 6-liter. Great tuning, love them. The Ultimate X is my favorite racing tune. Terrible on the street, I hate it. But down the track, it's perfect. The shifts are bam, like spot on, nice and fast. You go to their street tune, my transmission doesn't like it. There's something about it doesn't like. Everything else, perfectly fine. So, and they can tweak it, so just sometimes there's just issues in that needs a little tweak. You'll be good to go, I bet, after they go through that. So 0560, studded. So that's, I guess it depends how hard you are. But 12 miles on the highway sounds pretty terrible for an extended cab long bed 6-liter. For instance, with 175 stock injectors, and I ran I forget the tire size. It came out to 34.4 inches tall and 11.5 wide on 18-inch wheels. I got 17 around town hand calculated more than once. Now, I was trying to get decent fuel mileage, but you should at least be in I would imagine 17 range. Again, as long as you're not super hard on it. I did that 17 around town on a street tune, or a race tune, excuse me. It was a mild race tune, I will say that, but more than your average street tune. Where are we at here? All right, let's see, do we have a lookup of the code yet? Oh, yeah, my boss is in here. Well, one of my bosses. I have to answer to a lot of people. Guys, I don't see it. If we can get a lookup of this P0611, once I get caught back up, if we don't have it, I'm going to I'll start looking it up once I get caught up again. Getting an excursion back next. Oh, dude, Doom, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. When you get it back, I expect pictures, brother. Hey, Wookie, I don't know if I missed your brother, but be safe out there. Thank you again for all you do. Take care, brother. And thank you for all the kind words. I really appreciate that. And since he said it, guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. Again, we're trying to top our highest liked live stream ever. And we're 8 people away from our highest viewers at one time in a live stream. So we're getting up there, guys. Code basically says the FICM is fried, needs replaced or repaired. Okay, so my FICM guy. Who the heck was asking about the FICM? Was that 07, I think? Trying to keep track. It's a FICM code. Most students do not have a problem doing basic reviews. All right. Baby, the truck is safe. fuel. Man, you guys are really okay. Making sure I got everything. Yeah, man. I'd say something is a little goofy with your setup that you're getting such poor fuel economy with it, and then you get 15 while towing. That's Yeah, something's wonky. I mean, I'd look for, biggest things I think guys overlook: sticking brake calipers. They are known to do it on these trucks. I would definitely go through all them. Make sure you don't have any sticking calipers. I'm gonna quick pull up. So what we did, I'm gonna quick switch gears to the FICM. So Josh, what we did with his FICM, when there's two sides. There's a logic side, which is the side that's programmed and can be tuned. There's a power supply time, or FICM main is how it shows up on your monitor. And what we did for that is we just used a Dorman power supply, and it's been working really well. A lot of guys have had good luck with it. I'm going to give you a link to it. This is an affiliate link, just so you know. Just want to be honest here. So that's what Josh and I used on his. It's worked fine. It is the budget option. If you want a permanent solution, Nick already dropped it down here. Cost me crazy time to find out. Yeah, I would be a little irritated if they weren't willing to look into it. Like I said, I think sticking brake calipers is the #1 reason for lost fuel economy that we all overlook. Look at your wheel. What I would do is clean your wheels and see if one of them looks like they're getting dirty faster. I mean, that big of a drop, I would imagine more than one of your brake calipers needs done. 07 though. So the Amazon link is an affiliate link to the Dorman power supply. It's like 4 little Torx bit screws in there that hold it in place. You got to open it up. It's pretty easy to do once it's out. There's videos on it. I don't personally have any videos on it. I'd probably get something for you if you want. Just let me know. But then that's the cheap option. The permanent option, the best option in my opinion, is to send it out to ed@ficumrepair.com. I have no affiliation with him. He has hands down the best solution out there and best reputation for these FICMs. Hands down. It's a little pricey, but one of them even has a lifetime warranty. I doubt you'd ever need to use it because he has so many upgraded components in there. So that would be my pick for one. And when my FICM goes out, that's who I will send it to. Let's see here. Nick, he has an 07, so he should be good with the 4 or 7 pin. But since you brought that up, very early 6 liters had a 7-pin FICM. The logic side of the 7-pin FICM is not compatible with any other side, the logic side. So your logic side for a 7-pin needs to match a 7-pin. Your logic side for a 4-pin needs to match the 4-pin, period. So what's going on here? Sorry, my phone's lighting up and making all sorts of weird nonsense over here. So I want to make sure I'm not missing something important. Let me pull back up here. All right. Holy crap, I'm actually caught up. Look at that. Whew. You take a breather here. So you guys really made me work for it. This first 45 minutes here. And yeah, I got water and I got Monster. I'm ready to go for a long one today. Ooh. In other exciting news, I have finally gotten my 6.7 to stop vibrating at highway speeds. I have an absurd amount of time in tracking down vibrations on this truck. It has been so annoying. So we got that fixed. I am planning on doing a whole series because we had other things. Is that potato water? No, it is not potato water. We've had so many things that needed fixed, and basically I'm going to do a video going over things to look for. I still have one clunking noise that's happening when I make a left turn. I think it is the track bar and bushing and ball joint. So I have a Moog track bar and Moog track bar ball joint upstairs ready to go in. I might tackle that project tomorrow. But I'm going to be honest, I'm a little leery because it is such a tight fit in there to get everything out. So OJ, my question to you is, so you're 65, 70 miles an hour, you get a vibration. If you get off the throttle altogether, but you're still maintaining that speed, does it still vibrate? And if it doesn't vibrate when you get right back in the throttle, does it start to vibrate again? Just waiting on OJ to answer, guys, and we'll keep going. Well, I guess we'll just start talking about that video now. It'll be, so basically, things to look for. If it sounds like it's specifically, it's in the rear, not front. So I'll say this: it sounds like you probably have a tire out of balance. Would be, you didn't hear the question. My question was, when you get out of the throttle, does the vibration go away and return when you get back in the throttle? If I had to guess, probably not. And so basically the issue that I was having around 50-ish miles an hour, 55 miles an hour, I started to get a vibration. By 65 miles an hour, it was really bad. And I mean like shaking the whole truck kind of bad. So U-joints, what I've seen U-joints look like with a failure is typically what happens is you'll get in the throttle. When you're in the gas, you'll get that vibration in the rear end. And as soon as you let up out of the throttle, the vibration disappears. OJ, what I don't think you need to replace tires. You probably have one out of balance. So, all right, these balancing beads that have become so popular. I hate balancing beads. I hate balancing beads. They're the worst. So what I literally did, what my final thing was I went to the shop. You had them remounted and balanced. OJ, did they put did you use balancing beads or did they just put regular weights on? And if so, how much weight did you have in there? Weights on rim. Okay. I mean, what I should say by how much weight, was it a lot or was it a little? Because I know 2 of my wheels required a lot of weight. Now my bounce has gone away, thank goodness, because I was losing my mind. Hey, and side note, we're almost at 40 likes. Look at that. We'll probably actually beat last week or 2 weeks ago's likes. That's good. Anyway, well, Chris is kind of on my next track that I'd go to. The best way to check U-joints would honestly be if mine and my truck were just shot in the 2015. I could literally grab one piece of the drive shaft here and with my other hand, and I could actually feel the movement in them. There was like an 1/8 of an inch move. There was a lot of movement. If they're stiffer than that, you might need to kind of use a pry bar to pry in there and see if you can get movement. But oh, here we go. I want to quick see how many we had at the last live stream, where that's at. A fiberglass work bed. Work shell. Yeah, but that shouldn't cause that unless well, I will say this leads me to think carrier bearing more and more. So I'd get under there and I'd look at your carrier bearing, but and it doesn't look like it's really gonna. my guess would be it just needs replaced because there's no real visible sign. What you can do is you can kind of grab on either side of it and push up. You know, if your carrier bearing's here, you don't need to even touch both sides. You can push on one side. And I hate when this thing makes me look orange. So that would be my guess. I'm not saying I'm right, but check your U-joints, check that. So Carter, here's the thing with one-piece drive shafts. They're cool. I love that my 2015 has a one-piece drive shaft. But on the only reason they can do it on a 15 is there's a slip joint right off the transmission, which gives you the movement that you need. Duramaxes do that have done this for a long time. But you definitely can't. Did I lose a like when I said that? I feel like we were at 38, now we're at 37. It's hateful if I did. Anyway, on a 6 liter, honestly, just stick with the carrier bearing. They don't go out that bad. If you're lifted, make sure you have the drop bracket appropriate for it. But yeah, no, I personally on a 6 liter, I would just run whatever it came with. The problem if you get a one-piece drive shaft is they're more prone to failure on the 6 liters because they're like very, very specifically sized and there isn't a whole lot of give without the slip joint. So in my opinion, not worth it on a 6 liter. Just fix what's there. Take it to a drive shaft shop. Like taking them out super easy. I had mine taken to a drive shaft shop. They rebuild it. I put it back in. Super easy to do. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything up top here. You guys were talking. I saw a boost or something. Robert, so you're having it's a squeak on acceleration. The turbo whistle hides it really well. And you don't. I think I saw no loss of boost. So Robert, my question is. My question is, what is my question? No loss of boost. Any work done on the truck recently? A lot of times noises kind of come after trucks have been worked on and we find that there were issues or something wasn't put quite 100% back in place. So anything recently done. Doom, I'm using a CSF 6028 in my 6 liter and it's holding up great. I've looked at a few other ones. I know on Josh's truck, probably some intercooler setups are super expensive, especially if you're not coming with pipes. Like the Banks kit, I used to always think was outrageously priced. Now, I will say this, I don't really care for the look of the pipes. They're big and gaudy. And I don't think they're necessarily as good as they've been as Gale Banks makes them out to be. I think he really kind of gave up on Fords personally. That's not his market. He likes Cummins and he likes Duramaxes. He does not seem to like Powerstrokes. I'm going to say because there's not enough areas for him to improve on because they're that good. I'm just kidding, guys. But his intercooler is fantastic. BD Diesel makes a nice intercooler. Again, they're both expensive. At least the Banks comes with all your pipes and stuff. Because when you figure out the CSF 6028 that I bought, and then I turned around and I bought 2 really nice set piping kits, it comes out to almost as much as the Banks. It's a little cheaper. I probably saved about $200-300, but something to consider in your shopping. But I really think the CSF 6028 is a great one to buy, and that's why I run it. And I've had great luck with it, and it's held up excellent. All right. Is 7.3 fan clutch needed with an EGR delete? No, OJ, you do not need a 7.3 fan clutch. I'm personally not a huge fan of it. It really just makes your fan run more. Some guys that tow all the time love it. Say their temp stays super low, so it does work well. I just personally, I'm gonna do a blue wire mod on my truck before I replace to the 7.3 fan clutch because it kind of gives you more control. But the 7.3 fan clutch works well, so it's not like it's a terrible idea. It's just one I'm not a big fan of. But guys that do it typically love it. Every now and then you'll get one person that doesn't, but I'd say the overwhelming majority loves the 7.3 fan clutch, but it's not needed for a delete. My phone. Let's see here. Replacing alternate. All right, if your alternator was replaced, that shouldn't have messed with anything recently. Are you sure I mean, I guess is your belt bad? That's where I would check then. That'd give you like a squeak noise that the turbo probably would hide the sound of. Let's see here. I was going to replace belt, but looks like a nightmare. I don't have one. I've never replaced a belt. Josh replaced a belt on his, and I'm trying to think if he said it sucked or not. I'd have to talk to him. I mean, I know getting a lot of that stuff out in the front isn't super fun. I don't think it's terrible, but no, getting a belt on them is not fun. Not at all. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. I'm so tired of all the Delta posts on the forums. I have a question. All right. Well, at least you're going to get some straight answers here. You have new oil cooler. Typically, after warming up 7 to 10, can creep down to 5 and up to 12. Also, on a serious note, climbing at 7. So, Jerome, so the best way to test for deltas, I mean, if you're cruising the best way to do it, cruise at 65 down the flattest stretch of highway possible with as little additional weight as possible. And see if you stay on, like, the 1,000 pounds in the bed shouldn't be an issue. But at 65 miles an hour, cruise down the road. And if they stay under 15, you're good. Now, I will say, you said you have a new one. I doubt it's clogged already. The 7 to 10, perfectly fine. If you're doing 65 down a flat stretch of road and you're running 7 to 10 degree deltas, you're fine. You have nothing to worry about. I don't care what anyone says on the forums at that point. Also, and I wouldn't worry about them pulling a grade at all. Like, especially like 1,000 pounds isn't a lot in the bed. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a lot in the bed, but in the scheme of what a 6-liter is capable of towing, it's not that big of a deal. But you're going 70 miles an hour and you're going up a hill. I wouldn't worry about it. Question: when I put a tune in, does it matter what tune when I get up to cruising speed, step on the gas, the turbo has a time spooling up, go back to socket, goes back to normal? Is this normal? No. So, Donald, you're saying when you put the tune in, you're saying you feel like on the highway it takes whose tuning do you have? Because I might have an idea of what you're talking about. So, Donald, tell me whose tuning you're currently running. Yep, Jerome, you're good, man. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Doom, I completely agree. I hate balancing beads. 5-star tuning. So, Donald, I am not familiar with 5-star tuning in 6 liters. So I'm not 100% sure. There is a tuner I've used, Innovative Diesel. They really kind of hold your transmission gears. So it feels like you have some lag on the highway. Like when you're just full throttle in it, you're good. But a lot of times they kind of pull back some of your throttle, and not throttle, it wants to hold the tune or gear while you're too low in your RPMs. I would switch tuning to a different company. Power Hungry Performance, Gearhead, Quick Tricks, Truck Source Diesel, Warren Diesel are all have excellent reputations, and I think you'd enjoy your tuning a little more with that. Let's see here. You're in Texas. Oh, okay. Yep. Man, you guys are really making me making me talk a lot tonight. I like it. There's been very little downtime, and I really love that about this. I'm trying to get out of one of my other screens here. I don't know, guys. It looks like we might not be breaking any viewing records tonight. We're only at 17 here. And guys, real quick, a few things. If you haven't already, merch plug. I know you guys probably hate when I do this. Link in the description to the Amazon store for merchandise. We got 4 different items up there. I'm working on hoodies next. There'll be 2 different hoodie designs going up, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So they are coming. I just need to finish editing it. One of them is going to be the thumbnail for this video, the 6.0 with the bros and the 0, and it's not an engine, it's a movement. That's going to go on the back of a hoodie. And this logo is going to go on the front of another hoodie. So those are coming soon. I'm running some, missing some. Yeah, man, I got to tell you, I mean, I haven't really had any experience with the balancing beads before. And so far I can say I will never be using them again. Donald, yes, I can get you a playlist, actually. Let me pull up my account. I can get you a playlist of tuning stuff. Now, this doesn't have all the different tunes in it that I run, but sorry, let me turn this vibration off my phone so you guys don't hear. Let me get you a playlist of the tunes I've reviewed, and I do talk about tuners, and in there, here we go. In this playlist, one thing I talk about is, I believe it's the first video, the best tuner for your 6.0 Powerstroke. I actually talk about a few different ones to run. So, all right, so that playlist is to my playlist, and they have different tuners in there that you can run. And I will try to update. If you don't follow me on Instagram, maybe what I'll do is I'll tag. I'll do a post with the. Excuse me. I'll do a post with one of the trucks and an SCT tuner in the picture, and I'll just tag a bunch of reputable tuners for people, and that'll probably be the easiest way to help. I do plan, once the truck is back, to get back to doing a lot of tune reviews. But at this time, I have not been able to do that because the white truck's not present. So I will do that in the future. So follow me on Instagram if you don't already, I guess is the message. And that'll be coming in the next day or so. Thank you, Goose. Carter, I love the Top Gun reference. So, Kelly, with your turbo question, so before I can help recommend a turbo, whether that be a factory replacement or a performance upgrade, I need to know what you do with your truck, if there's any towing. If so, is it super heavy, like over 5,000 pounds, or is it always under? And any modifications to your truck or future plans to, like injectors, I guess mainly injectors, but any mods done to the truck, exhaust, intake, injectors, etc. Let me know, and any goals for the truck, and I'll be able to help kind of lead you in the right direction. You have a new intercooler flushed on a hot day within 5-10 degrees. That's one thing about Deltas that I don't think I talked about earlier, is sometimes the radiators need flush. Sometimes they get gunked up with crap in. Sometimes they need a really good flush. There's guys that have gone from a factory intercooler, or not intercooler, radiator, and gone to the cheap Mishimoto one that's significantly thinner than factory, and have seen an increase in cooling efficiency. Like, these guys get super upset with me when I tell them that radiator's garbage, and that's coming from personal experience. I've ran it, and these guys get so like, no, it's the best one out there. It's affordable. Like, I get you're passionate about what you spent your money on. I get that way too, but let's not be ridiculous. The cheap Mishimoto radiator's garbage. It ruined one of my towing experiences because I couldn't keep my temps down, and it was a 12-hour drive. I'm replacing radiator while I'm replacing the water pump. Carter, one thing. So water pump, I run a Gates. I think the Gates one you can now. This. I don't know what this is. This orange nonsense. I don't know. I need to get a better lighting situation down here. So I run a Gates. You can get a metal propeller one if you want. I will say I actually like the plastic propeller because if it breaks, I just have to deal with plastic, and most likely my front cover is fine. If a metal one breaks, it's going to destroy your front cover, and you're probably going to need to replace it. So radiator, I'm running the Performance Mishimoto one. I don't really like it, just doesn't perform any better than factory. So if you can get the factory one, a Motorcraft radiator for the same price or cheaper than the Mishimoto Performance one, I would do that. The Mishimoto Performance one does okay. It's just not better than factory cooling. Are there complete fuel system upgrades? What would you recommend? So, John, I'm going to talk about what's done on my truck, specifically my 6-liter. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about as far as fuel upgrades. So I run a fast 125 gallon per minute or gallon per hour. I forget what. They're 125 unit from fast, and I took the factory pump completely out. So I have lines plumbed all the way up to the splitter for in the engine, underneath the engine. I guess technically it's on the driver's side, but close to the exhaust manifold. That's what I did. I'm not really aware of anyone selling a singular kit for it all. Nor do I think most people need one. Now, I just don't like stuff looking messy and half, you know what? So that's why I wanted to take the factory pump out. Typically, people run that with their return lines and stuff. But if you wanted to do a full-on like whole kit, you would run a regulated return with a fuel bowl delete. That'd be your easiest way to just easily plumb everything in. And then again, I'd run it to a lift pump by I like fast. I'll probably run an air dog in my 6.7 when I finally replace the factory pump in that. But honestly, either one's going to be excellent. I would look for the best deal between air dog and fast, personally speaking. Driven diesel probably has the nicest regulated return, in my opinion, as far as install and clearing, like on the back of the cylinder heads, clearing the Y pipe as well. IPR valve, the screen was separated and I had to fish it out. What was the cause of it coming up? Mike, what year is your truck? So typically, your IPR valve, the only thing that's going to break that screen typically is junk going through it. Now, if you have an early one, like I have an early 04, so I have the original screen that didn't have the reinforcement on, you could order a late style one, or you could get the Alliant sells a O-ring and screen kit you could pop on there as well. I think Alliant makes nice stuff, so I do recommend them at times. But other than that, something's in your oil. Typically, they're not going to just break from the oil pressure themselves, which seems crazy when you realize that, they can go upwards of 4,000 PSI. But typically, could be junk in your fuel system, or not fuel, oil system, or your pump could, like I asked about year, because early style pumps or late style pumps, if the pump itself fails, it'll push through crap through your IPR valve, and that'll do it. But do you regularly? I don't pull my IPR valve unless I need to. Have you pulled yours more than once, brother? Tunes, consider SE tune with a couple of custom tunes. Do the tuners come with a stock flash, or I need to go back to the fellow that tuned my? So Drone, did you did you have your ECM flashed by this tuner? You don't have like an actual tuner. Like, what kind of setup are you running? SCT is really considered to be the premier tuning option for the 6.0 Powerstroke. It lets you tune your ECM and your transmission. Yep, flash, not tuner. Okay, so Jerome, you'll have to go back and ask them to send it back to factory, is what I would do. And I don't, Jerome, did you have any mods as far as like bigger injectors in there? That'd be my only concern. You don't want to run, if you have bigger injectors and you don't want to run factory tuning for long. Pretty much any other modification won't cause any issue. Jay, because you said old girl, it flagged your comment as inappropriate. Okay, Jerome. So what I'd do is I would go back to them, have them flash it back to factory, and watch those that playlist I'd said. I have links to the SCT tuners. They are affiliate links, means it helps me the channel out a little bit. But just to be honest, and I do want to tell everyone this, some tuners will give you like unlimited revisions if you buy a tune package from them and an SCT together. So keep that, like, check the tuners I list there to make sure that there isn't something you could be getting, a benefit you could be getting by purchasing through them. I obviously always appreciate the support, but I don't want you guys to support me if it means you're going to have to spend more money in the end. So it's something to be aware of. Good advice. Oh, Ninja, I'm glad you like that turbo. And thank you. I appreciate you saying that I give good advice. Seriously, I do love that. Ninja, were you one of the guys that got to have it, that was here when I had the coupon code for Turbo Time? I feel bad for the guys that purchased before I had 5% off coupon code for them. Have you ever considered being a traveling mechanic? Obviously working on that. Mongoose, I have never considered being a traveling mechanic. I don't know if not a lot of people realize this. I'm a nurse. That's what I do for a living. I'm an LPN and I'm working on my RN. That's what funds all of this nonsense is nursing and a lot of overtime. But I will say this, one of the things, like when I go on trips, I always bring all my tools, and I would never let somebody be broken at a campground or something, or broken and not offer assistance to them. But I have really no interest in being a traveling mechanic, especially because my scope would be so limited. I know 6 liters really well. I'm learning 6.7s. Excuse me. 7.3s aren't super complicated either. 6.4s I know virtually nothing about. And while I can work on a lot of stuff, I can't say that I would be a huge help for somebody traveling down the road that was broken down. I don't have that kind of knowledge base. The guys that are good at it, and maybe I'm cutting myself a little short, but I by no means am a mechanic. I work on my stuff and I help people in need when I can, but I don't think my skill level's quite at that point personally. Ford dealer damaged your stock rad and replaced it with a third-party cheap rare, so that could be part of it. Jerome, what did I miss? About your radiator there. Man, am I behind. Lightning. All right, I gotta start powering through these. Kelly, so staying around 5,000 pounds, just toys, campers, no mods yet. And what's your take on Blue Spring kit? Is it worth the money? First, Blue Spring kit, 100%. Get a Ford factory one. I always recommend that because some of the aftermarket ones, I've seen pressures all over the place. I've seen them too high. I've seen them too low. So get a Ford factory one. It is more money, and that sucks. But at least you know you're going to be set at the right fuel pressure, provided your fuel pump is healthy. So Kelly, saying you plan to stay relatively factory, I would look at a there'd be not like if you're just going to stay factory, there's nothing wrong with a factory charger. You would be happy, and I'm going to reference TurboTime USA. There's other companies out there that are good, but TurboTime USA is my sponsor. I'm going to show them some love. I really do. I'm probably a little too forthcoming about other good companies in this market, but TurboTime USA will take care of you. You could do their 61 millimeter charger, which is just slightly bigger. It's their stage one. It's slightly bigger than a factory charger, and it still has it has the 10 blade exhaust side that gives that iconic 6-liter sound that we all love, and that will outperform a factory charger. It's got a billet wheel. It's got the higher flowing exhaust side. Coupon code. There should be a link down in the description. Here, let me just type their stuff in. This should put you right to. I don't know why it didn't. If you use that code, it'll get you where you need to. The coupon code 60bros will give you 5% off that turbo. Now, my personal favorite size is actually the 64 millimeter. And the reason I say that is if you decide you want to go up in injectors down the road, it's going to give you plenty of leeway to go up. That will support approximately 600 horsepower. I ran Power Max, which is similar size, but a much nowhere near the same quality and wheel design. It was slower spooling than that 64 millimeter will be. That kind of gives you a great range of performance from stock injectors all the way up to like a 205cc injector. So it'll max out around 600 horsepower, which is a lot. A lot of people hear 600, and 600 horsepower trucks have become so common, people think that's not a lot of power. You're talking about a truck that'll run high 12, low 13s in the quarter mile. It's a lot of power to move a truck, an almost 8,000 pound truck that far. But again, it'll still run well with stock injectors and tuning. But by no means, if you're going to stay relatively factory, you definitely don't need a turbo. You'll enjoy one, but by no means do you need an upgraded turbo, and factory turbos are just much cheaper. But now if you said you wanted to make 500 horsepower or down the road, you thought maybe you'd consider going to bigger injectors, then I would probably opt for that 64 millimeter turbo. The 61 millimeter turbo will take full advantage of stock injectors and will give you all the performance you need as well. So those are your three options. Factory, not a bad one, especially if you plan to stay relatively factory. If you want a turbo that performs a little bit better, the 61 millimeter stage one they sell would be pretty good. The 64 millimeter is my favorite, and I have run the Power Max turbo, which is similar size. Just again, it's not as efficient of a turbo design as that one. Runs great with stock injectors too. So those are my three recommendations in that department. Man, I am like really far behind. I'm like 6 minutes behind on these. You have an 05. I cannot get the lower half of my standpipe out. Driver's side, I pulled off oil rail and even tried pliers to no avail. Do you have like a really long set of pliers to get in there? That's really the only way people get them out is pliers. I honestly can't think I have a better recommendation than that, and that makes me feel kind of like a jerk I wish I had a nurse for Powerstrokes. I just saw that. That's funny. How are you trying to like grab around the edge and pull out, or are you trying to put your pliers like inside and spread them apart and pull it out? Hey Ninja, thanks for coming, man. I'm glad you could pop in and hang out with us, man. And thank you. I appreciate all the support. I really do, guys, appreciate all the support you give me. It's awesome, and it makes doing stuff like this super fun. And yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And sticking with me through this time of transitioning from dealing with my 6-liter to the 6.7. And moving forward, the 6.0 is coming back, and you guys are going to love it. It's going to be worth the wait. I promise you that. It's feeling no love. Jerome, thank you. I appreciate it, man. AJ, let's see here. What's up, brother? Just wondering if you guys are familiar with Suncoast Transmissions. I am a little familiar with them, actually. It lasted like 6 months. That does not sound much like a Suncoast transmission. That's weird. I'm sure they're taking care of it. And the only thing I can think of, AJ, how much power are you running? I don't remember you having like an insane build or anything to, like, at least not to break a stage 4 Suncoast transmission. I don't want to learn anything about a 6.4. That's funny. Oh crap, I lost my spot here. That's funny. Mongoose, you're welcome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mike, you may need to pull the fuel rail to get them out. I'm running Warren Diesel tunes. Love them. Yeah, Warren Diesel has nice tunes too. Ethan, I've looked at the Sinister Diesel one, and actually that's mainly, again, something I've looked at for Josh's build for the adjustability of it. It's a cool idea. I haven't heard of too many people having problems with them leaking. I just struggle with Sinister Diesel and some of their nonsense. But I have really looked at that one, and at some point we'll probably do it. Matt, as long as you have a way to monitor your fuel pressure, I wouldn't be super worried about it. But honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if you don't really know what your fuel pressure is going to be. I've seen stuff all over the place. Doom, the blue wire mod is where you splice in to the blue wire on your fan clutch, and it gives you the ability to control either letting it do what it's going to do with the ECM, or you can hook it up to like a relay or a toggle switch, and it'll kick it on full throttle the whole way. So that's the blue wire mod. You're running injectors, stock injectors. So Jay Hill, if I'm understanding your question correctly here, so 61 or 64, you have slight upgrade injectors. Either or, Jay. If you do have an upgraded injector, I would honestly lean towards the 64 millimeter over the 61. Like when you say slight, I'm assuming you're talking stock nozzles or like a 155/30. If you've gone up in injector size at all, I would personally recommend the 64 millimeter. Will the 61 millimeter work? Yep, but the 64 millimeter, in my opinion, would be a little bit better overall. Doom, I do plan to go back to Cecil to race. I almost actually took the black truck down, even though I said I wasn't going to race the black truck. I considered it. I think the event got canceled anyway, so I didn't go. But I do plan to, once the white truck is back up, the white truck won't be back together long before it goes back to the track. Now, I just saw Matt's comment. Hard to watch the 6.7 videos. But no, the white truck, the big goal for the white truck, the next big racing goal for the white truck is honestly to get into the 12s. That's really what I want in a crew cab short bed, is to be in the 12s. I ran a 13.6 on 35s with a really conservative injector. So I honestly think I can pull my 6-liter into the 12s. But long story short, yep, I will be racing more. Matt, I think this is a funny comment. Hard to watch 6.7 vids, but in 15 years when I upgrade, I'll be sure to. So, Matt, a lot of the 6.7 videos, like the suspension stuff, carries over a lot into 6 liters. So some of that stuff's kind of back and forth. The 6.7 is going to take a lot of videos. I know that kind of sucks, guys, for a lot of you. And the vast majority of my audience is 6-liter guys, and I feel crappy. And that's why I do the informative videos on 6-liter stuff. I know I have 2 videos I plan to shoot this week. I want to do the track bar ball joint and track bar install, and I want to do an informative video on 6 liters talking about, basically I want to do a build series playlist, stage 1 build list, and basically be a tow build, a stage 2 build tow build list as well. So I do plan to keep those videos. You guys seem to enjoy the informative stuff and getting 6-liter information out there. I do plan to continue that. I also plan to do a 6-liter video talking about diagnosing a high pressure oil leak issue. Basically, no start conditions is what I want to do. Best for 7.3 mod. Turbos seem to be pretty popular for them. We did a very mild injector upgrade on my dad's truck, and it really changed the truck. So, I mean, engine mod, I'd probably go exhaust, even though it's not an engine mod, it's performance mod. I'd probably do exhaust and an intake would be the first 2 things I'd do to a 7.3, followed by probably injectors and a turbo. If I wanted to get a little more wild, I'd keep to a mild injector setup because they don't hold the same kind of those transmissions don't hold crazy power until they're built. Oh, Jay, you're definitely just more efficient. I mean, 6.4s tuned are monsters. If he was deleted with an all-out race tune, he would have won. Your truck's probably in the 500 range. Probably would max out around 510, 520. Very similar to probably what is in my truck, honestly, when it's running right. If you upgraded your turbo anyway to support that. I don't know what size turbo you're running, but other than that, I mean, if he had it on a street tune, you'd take him all day long. He'd never catch up. You need to put a proper 4-inch lift on oversized tires. I'm expecting like $5 or $6 grand. Drone, it really depends. Sorry, forehead here. Really depends what kind of lift you want to go with. I mean, you can drop a ton of money on a like Icon or Carly suspension lifts that'll ride super nice and airbag it. 4-inch lift on a dually would look nasty. I wouldn't go any bigger than a 4-inch lift. I like my rough country lift. I know I'm going to get crap for that. I enjoyed it. It really just depends what you want to go with. They're all over the place. BDS makes nice stuff. I think BDS is a nice middle ground for suspension stuff. Rough country, I like if you're trying to do it a little more cheap, not cheap like quality. Like rough country has nice quality, but a much more affordable, I should say. So yeah, man, all over the place. Do you want to do wheels and tires with that? Like, you throw a set of fuel wheels, dually wheels in there, you're talking a lot of money plus tires again. So really depends how. I just see and wheels. Man, shooting from the hip, you're probably talking like $1,300 for a nice set of wheels. I haven't even looked at dually wheels before. I really do like fuel wheels though, and they have some really cool dually designs. Tires, you're talking 6 tires, oversized. Again, just kind of shooting from the hip, you're probably talking $1,500 there, depending on how big you go. 15-ish hundred for a nice lift. If it's a dually and tows, I'd definitely airbag the rear, to be honest. to help with load. And Nick, excellent advice. Jay, go with the 64 millimeter. Call it a day, brother. Just make sure you use the coupon code, man. 5% off on that turbo is like $85. That's like it's like 4 cases of beer. Not that you should measure stuff like that, but you're during quarantine. Things have been rough. I just lost my spot again. There we go. Jared, anyone interested in stock here? Hey guys, Ninja's been a big part of this group for a long time. I trust him. So if you're looking for a stock 03 turbo, hit him up. All parts of growing. No apologies, Jerome. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. Seriously. You guys that have stuck with this, really kind of found myself in an odd transition with stuff. And I try really hard to accommodate the 6-liter guys that have helped me grow to the size I am now. And the new guys that are coming in, whether it was 6-liter stuff that brought you in, the few 7.3 videos, I really do try my best. I hope you guys see that to really accommodate everybody. I haven't said it in probably 30 minutes. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, we need to get the most likes here we've ever had. And of course, link for your 6.0 Bro merch down in the description. And Turbo Time USA, their link and affiliate link and coupon code down there. Get your 5% off your turbo purchases if you're in the market for a turbo. That being said, guys, I will never push anyone to buy a performance turbo that doesn't need one. That's not what I'm about. This channel isn't about that. About being honest to you guys and giving you good advice. Those of you that have been in when I was talking with Kelly about turbos a little bit ago, you guys will know that I definitely am not trying to push that stuff just for the sake of it. Ethan, I do not have any experience with the 369. Basically, depending on what year 7.3 you have, they're essentially a T4 turbo from them. We're all 6.0 bros, not 6.7 bros. She natural. That's funny. I really don't have much there. KC Turbo really kind of has the whole market cornered on 7.3 turbos. I have contemplated talking with Turbo Time only when we're ready to with my dad's truck. I have contemplated talking with them about the idea of doing like a singular 7.3 turbo, maybe 2, if they were interested in breaking into that market. But I'm not at a point where I can kind of push for that kind of stuff because I'm not ready to do it. And I already have a turbo from those guys sitting up at Josh's. I feel terrible it's not on a truck for a review and all that stuff. And that's part of why I'm trying to save up for my 6-liter to get that back on the road and save up and do the mods on Josh's truck for you guys. So I'm kind of plus keep regular content coming on the 6.7 and all those things. So kind of in all directions, but I don't know a lot. I will say when it comes to 7.3 turbos, KC Turbo has the market on it. And at this time, like I said, it may be in the future after when I'm ready to. Hopefully in the next year, I'd like to be ready to get some different tuning for my dad's 7.3, some better tuning device for it, and upgrade to the turbo, see if Turbo Time is interested at all. They might say, hey man, it's not our market. We're not into it. That could be very well be it as well. So intake or exhaust for 7.3. I'd go exhaust first. Personally, I like exhaust. Last thing for Jay, it is coming down to my last couple things. So the track bar bushing, which I'm just got a whole new track bar from Moog. I did get a bushing because I am going to press the old one out and put a new one in and do a video, and hopefully that helps a few people that are trying to, for some people $50-$60 on a full track bar is not, my throat. For some people, $50-$60 for a full new track bar just isn't plausible, but an $8 bushing is. So I am going to show both ways to do it, or at least I'm going to try my butt off to. And worst case scenario, I'll have a track bar for my front end swap on the 6.0 when I get to that. And then it's sway bar bushings and sway bar end links, and then it's done. Then the whole front end's pretty much redone. I will need to pop that. Oh, and the steering stabilizer. But I'm probably going to upgrade that down the road in the very near future as well. And then I just need to pop that front diff cover off, get new, put a new one on, get new fluid in there. We'll be good to go. Plus, Jay, if you get with the 64 millimeter one, you can all get man, what was I just? You can get the velocity port. There we go. And I love the velocity port on those trucks, on those turbos. It sounds killer. The wife heard you in the background and asked, "What is wrong with the truck now?" Isn't it amazing how much we tried to hide from people? Like, what's wrong with the truck? Nothing. It's running fine. I just need to spend $2,000 online for maintenance parts and a full engine. Every time I order something or a package comes, what's wrong now? Nothing. With my 6 liters, some stuff's wrong. Jerome, I apologize for getting you in trouble with your wife, sir. My sympathy. Sick welded. So your upper track bar mounting point. So the part that the bracket that mounts to the frame broke. Is that right, Matt? That's crazy. Carter brings up a good point. I've heard good things about Zone. I personally don't have any experience with them, but I have heard people be super impressed with them. I know they're made by BDS. I can confirm that. I personally have never run them, but I have heard a lot of good stuff. Oh, where'd I go? Oh, good, not too far behind. I gotta get good tune. Warren. A ton of others. Jay, I can say this. Going to the 64 millimeter with coming from a stock turbo with the Wicked wheel, entirely different turbo, and you will like it over that setup. That being said, you have a nice setup, but the 64 millimeter turbo it's flowing a lot more air than the stock turbo is, even with the Wicked wheel. You'll definitely enjoy it. If you choose to go that route. I'm not saying you need to with 155/30s, but there's definitely room for improvement, and you would be shocked at how good that runs. Getting the turbo, gotta say. Jay, I hear that, man. Yeah, I saw Sinister's, I saw their intercooler, $2,000. They are out of their minds. $2,000 for an intercooler. When you have banks out there on the market at like 12-ish $100 for intercooler and full piping kit. You have the CSF kit out there for, I think right now it has gone up in price. I think it's around $500 right now with shipping. BD Diesel's intercooler is like $1,100. Spearco, I think you're around $1,100. There's no way I would spend $2,000. One with Sinister, two for their intercooler, or for their intercooler. I was looking up some of their stuff because they have like an affiliate program. I was just curious about it, and there was one about sending a part out, and I was like, I just can't bring myself. I can't bring myself to apply for something that I feel I don't know that I'll really enjoy. And it was more looking at stuff for Josh's build, but like They're not intercooler. They're headers for 6 liters. It's like $1,800. What? I can't believe some of the prices, and I struggle, man. Ethan, Gearhead in the 7.3 world is really well known and really popular. Jay, yes, 64 millimeter, you'll love it. Doom, the Moog track bar, if I can, I plan to shoot that video tomorrow. So that's the goal. Man, what? I don't know why every now and then it shoots me to the bottom of the comments and I keep losing my spot. Hell Sinistro. Their degas bottle does look good, but again, Rhino Diesel Products made a killer degas bottle. Really, really like that kit. Again, you know, he sent that out for free. I don't know why it's on Josh's truck, which is super upsetting, but you know, if you can, there should be a link to his Instagram, which is the best way to get a hold of him for degas bottles. When addressing the regen, Jeremy, that is, again, what I'm thinking, my big thing is before messing with anything on the regen system, you know, the basic maintenance stuff, definitely not the removal of said DPF and EGR on the 6.7. Definitely not. I really want to get some stuff done. I have a few things I want to make sure I do, namely get the exhaust manifolds on, make sure the truck is running 100%, and do some tune reviews. Cold air intake is going to go on in the very near future. Excuse me. And then after I get some reviews, I want to do some stuff with water methanol injection. And I want to tow at least once next spring with it and do a good review of just a truck that I know is completely healthy, completely running right. Do one final review towing, and then we'll be, you know, doing some basic maintenance to the regen system, if you will. Nick, definitely excellent recommendation on the CSF 6028. That's what I run in my 6 liter. And when I say I am in that thing, I mean I am brutal on it. Hey, it's a Mia. What's up, man? How you doing? Didn't see you there. Is that your first comment? I hope that's your first comment. I hope you haven't been in here commenting and I've missed you this long. Let's see here. Ninja, yep. Jay, you'll love that turbo, man. Seriously, it's awesome. You got to order rear track bar. Got too much power going to the rear. That's another. Oh, yeah. Problems, right? First world problems, brother. Not from China. The Donald Trump voice. Doom, I'm with $2,000 and it doesn't even come with charge pipes. At least if they're going to financially destroy you on what I can only guess, and I have no experience with it, guys, maybe it's a fantastic intercooler. I don't know. But at least if they're going to like financially destroy you, they could at least throw in the charge pipes. Matt, I gotta tell you, I feel like you should probably replace that. Matt, I've heard a lot of people have referenced Blessed tunes lately. I don't know if he's doing the tuning himself or if he's outsourcing them, but I have heard a lot about them. I personally haven't tried them. And again, when we have a 6 liter that we're going to be running on the channel, I will get back to doing tune reviews pretty regularly. At least, ideally, I'd like to do a tune review on a 6 liter once a month, if not twice a month, depending on how well those videos do once we get them back. So we'll see about that. But I've heard good things about Blessed tunes. I'm not familiar with them very well. So Ninja, I wasn't going to call you out. I've appreciated that you still been hanging out with us. I wasn't going to harass you too much, brother. I'm glad you're still hanging out with us, though, man. Oh yeah, Jeremy, I hear you. I'm when I first got my truck, when I first got the truck, it was in rough shape. Uh, really rough shape. And fortunately, my 6.7 is starting to turn around and be a relatively nice truck now, so I'm happy about that. But I was regenning every 150 miles, and then it kind of went to about 300 miles. Um, Now on long trips, I can go about, I'd say it's up to about 400 miles. Now, I don't see it going any better than that. And I will say when I'm around town on these short stop and go trips, it tends to regen a little more often. But when I go on long trips, it does much better as far as that goes. But no, if I had to go cross country with how many regens I'd hit, I'd probably lose my mind. Which is another reason I actually want to try the water methanol injection. I've looked a lot into this as far as this is my thing is I'm not opposed to cleaner emissions. I'm opposed to cleaner emissions that cost me fuel mileage and money down the road. I'm not even super opposed to aftermarket treatments in the fuel system, but I am opposed to stuff that just doesn't make sense in the end. And the diesel particulate filter is just a dumb idea. I want to try to, what I've learned from a lot of people is, and again, this is in my research, is that water methanol injection actually will reduce your emissions coming out your tailpipe. So I want to try and see, some people have reported less frequent regenerations with water methanol injection. So again, once I get the exhaust manifolds on, I'm probably going to take the one piece off and have it drilled and tapped to accept a nozzle and do water methanol injection. And just, I want to test it. Towing my camper, it got a little hot. My exhaust temps, I could get up there pretty good on my 6-liter. My exhaust temps were never an issue because I had that big 10-blade turbine wheel. And I honestly, like, even accelerating pulling grades on a tow tune, I couldn't get it to stay over 1100 for long. It just came down. It settled about 1050 to just under 1100. So my 6.7 doesn't do that. We're going to make it do it. It is going to get a turbo upgrade down the road, but the water methanol injection, I think, is a cool way to, one, increase performance. If it increases fuel economy, sure, it's at a cost because you still got to buy that spray and put it in your vehicle. But I'm more intrigued into that than I am like the DEF fluid or DPFs actually being effective. Because at the end of the day, it still burns that crap off. And you're talking a super expensive system to put on your truck. Let's see here. Features. It's a Mia. I like how you word that. Features. I will say, it's a Mia. I don't believe you lose any of those said features with tuning updates, contrary to popular belief. For instance, my Truck Source Diesel tunes a 19 and still has said feature. It's a Mia. I'm glad you could make it, man. Really been enjoying doing these live streams every other week. And so far, they've been doing really well as far as people turning out and enjoying them. So as long as people are still enjoying them, I'm going to keep doing them. If they were to continue to get bigger and bigger, there would be a point where I would consider every week. But right now, we're going to stick with every other week so you guys don't get sick of listening to me talk. The Sinister Kool-Aid. Jeremy, I think Sinister used to be a decent company once upon a time. I don't know how I feel about them right now, but I do believe once upon a time Sinister was a pretty good company. And somewhere along the line, I think they've kind of gotten a little goofy. And again, I've never tried a Sinister diesel part, so please, like, I'm not saying all their stuff's bad, or I'm not even saying any of their stuff's bad. I will say an intercooler for $2,000, they're out of their mind. That intercooler better do some really cool, amazing crap at that price. Jeremy, thank you, man. I appreciate it, but you found us now. And you are one of the few guys that has both vehicles we're big on. So that's kind of cool. And that was one of the reasons I went with the 6.7 was I figured it was the next progression for 6.0 guys. 6.0 guys weren't crazy big to jump into a 6.4 and deal with essentially the same nonsense, except worse because you have frequently cracked pistons in 6.4s. So a lot of 6.0 guys are skipping that and going to 6.7. So it made sense to get a 6.7. I really wanted one too. So it appeased me. It's good for you guys. Maybe one day down the road, if the channel becomes a super big hit, we'll mess with the 6.4. They were one of my favorite body style trucks, the 6.4s. Actually, when I was looking for my 6-liter, I really wanted a 6.4, but I could not afford a 6.4. So 6-liter it is. I'm happy I did it. Who knew down the road where it would lead me? But here we are. So yeah, I think that's awesome. Let's see her get caught up here. Still includes the feature. I love it. Man, I am good to hear. Blessed Tunes, KC Stage 2, 193rd. Good. Joe, that you got a nice truck, man. That's a nice build. You're talking about a build potential, knocking on 600 horsepower door on a race tune, so that's nice. Jerome, you'll be fine. You won't need to worry about anything. Nick, I agree with you. I recommend 205/30s over 190/30s. That's 205/30s what's going in the 6-liter next when it's back and I can afford to put the 205/30s in it. With the turbo in there and some Fickum tuning, I think that's going to be a awesome build that you guys are going to love. Recommend a new 6 owner to purchase stock truck 06. Man, I'd say that's relatively low miles. If you like 6-liters, we do a lot of the common issues people see with 6-liters, we fix here. And 6-liters are good trucks. They're a little finicky, and a lot of your regular mechanics don't understand them, and they think they're garbage, and they're just not. And you can fix them here, man. Don't even worry about it. I'd buy the truck, especially if it fits your needs. And just subscribe, and we'll take care of you, man. You'll find basically everything to fix here. If you do have an issue and need it, I'm pretty available all the time. I try my best to answer people. I was answering a guy today. I need to actually finish sending him links to monitor stuff. Guy found me on a forum I had posted on. I try to answer stuff all day long. So, we're here to help, but honestly, I'd get it. Oh, that's cool. Jay, have you seen any bump in fuel economy? That's another question I have about it. Current tune handles it. Heard there were recent changes on those required things. Yeah, the EPA needs to chill. Here's the thing for racers, this is the thing, guys. Delete tunes are never going to go anywhere. They're just going to go underground. I'm not advocating for delete tunes here. I'm just saying they're never going to go anywhere because this is the thing is there's people that race them off-road. They're getting their tuning from somewhere. It'll still continue to be a thing. The EPA, it is such a gross overreach of their authority. I think it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, you guys are fine. And this happens all the time. People think they're going to go away. Everybody panics. I have like 4 SCT tuners lying around. Because I was like, oh, SCT's going away. I need to get these now. SCT's still around. They're still selling tuners. There's still delete tunes for them because people race. The EPA, I get super upset about this. EPA has been cracking down on this stuff for years. They find numerous companies. They continue to find numerous companies. You know what they're never getting rid of? The tuning. And here's the thing: the EPA doesn't want to get rid of it. They just want to continue to make money. So it's never going to go away, guys. I assure you of that. It is never going away because it makes the EPA too much money fining people down the road. It's making too many companies money. Don't get me wrong. The EPA has pushed it and put a few companies out of business over the years. But no, you guys have nothing to worry about like that. I'm not even going to talk about it on here, but you're fine. Trust me. If you haven't updated your SCX 14, do my fastest track time down with EPA cracking down, I'd say no. My fastest track time down the 13.6. So that was a 4-wheel drive launch. That was 175 stock nozzles injectors and my Power Max turbo. So, guys, just trust me on this. Just order the tunes and tell them what's done to the truck, and you'll be fine. Trust me. Whew, man, that was. Let's see here. I wanted to look up. Let's see. So we have 74 likes on that previous live stream. So we're 32 behind. So if you haven't liked it, hit the like things. Bear makes a brake system for Super Duties. I have not seen this yet, but we're going to look it up now because that's cool. So I will say, let's talk about brake system upgrades for these trucks in general. So there's SSBC. I've looked at them for some stuff. I think they're, in the scheme of thing, I think they're the most affordable upgrade possible. Yeah, Chris, I definitely say there's while I think all of these trucks, I think they all brake well. I think the sizing of the rotors, especially starting in 05, was like a big upgrade in brake rotor size and stopping capability. Where I think they really dropped the ball, it has more to do with the reliability. And all of the big three do that. Dodge brakes are an issue. Chevy heavy duty trucks brakes are an issue. Super duty trucks brakes are an issue. So it's not just Ford. I mean, I've seen all of them need it done. It's super common. The biggest thing I can say is maintenance. Pulling your brakes apart regularly, greasing up your sliders. I'm getting ready to take my rear ones off because they need done. And I just want to make sure that my sliders are good and that I don't need a whole new caliper. I think one of the sliders in my front passenger side is sticking, and that's a brand new brake. So I got to pull that apart. That's on the potential list of things to do this weekend as well. So when it comes to brake upgrades, I'm all in favor of it. Depending on the year, like I said, SSBC is one that you can do. And man, we really grew here during this live stream. Wow. So yeah, SSBC is a company I've looked at. This Bear brake system I'm pulling up now. I think that's pretty cool. Phone's charged. Does anyone have a link to it? I really hate being off of like this screen with people looking stuff up. Oh, Willwood. Okay. Man, you got me excited. I mean, so the Willwood brake system I think is cool. Here's kind of my knock on the Willwood system. I think it's cool. It requires 20-inch wheels. which for a lot of people isn't awful. I mean, Fords are coming with 20s now, but your older trucks is a little bit of an issue. It means you got to get wheels. I think it is insanely expensive. I mean, I think it's $2,400 for front and or rear. So you're talking $5,000 essentially. And then on top of it, you need special rotors then at that point too. I think that's a little insane. Do I think it's probably one of the best brake systems out there? Oh yeah, I bet it makes a Super Duty stop on a dime. I just don't ever see me spending $5,000 on brakes. Now, I will say the SSBC company I mentioned earlier, I would definitely consider them for that. I wish Bear would make one for Ford trucks. Because I do think that'd be cool. I think they just, I think they only do the 150. I don't think they do Super Duties. So, yep, they only do 150s. They do not do Super Duties. And I think that's kind of lame. Does anybody know if 6 idler past the snap? So AJ, I will say, so it's not great to run your it's not great to run aftermarket injectors on stock tuning. What I would do is I would probably try to contact your tuner and see if you can't, if there isn't some kind of tune for larger injectors that would work with testing. I don't know. I've heard of guys being able to pass with upgraded injectors, but I don't know what was needed to be done to make that happen. I don't know if it's just a drastic pullback in timing or something, but I have heard of it. I have heard of people passing with upgraded injectors, so I just don't know what the answer to it is. Ninja, I got to talk to you about shipping and how get you to start getting parts out to me. I like Power Stop. I've used them on the 6-liter. When I did the front brakes on my 6.7, I did go all Motorcraft everything. That's for a whole nother thing. I was trying to push back when I realized that the dealership I bought it from clearly lied about overall condition, and I traveled 6 hours away. So it was kind of a I was kind of pressuring them to try to fix some of it since they so clearly lied. They did not, which is super upsetting to me. And some of you guys probably remember when I got the truck, I really struggled with that for a bit. But I've gotten over that. We're back on track, making good videos and not super too butthurt anymore about that. But I see I'm talking about upgraded lines. I do plan my 6-liter. I don't know why I go orange sometimes on this. Now we're good. My 6-liter has don't they have the auto brake system? Jerome, what's the auto brake system? Not sure what you're talking about there. My 6-liter has all upgraded stainless or braided stainless lines, all 5 of them. My 6.7 doesn't automatically stop. I mean, unless you consider the one caliper that's sticking, that makes my one wheel very dirty faster than the rest as an auto braking feature. No, that does not have. Could be a 2020, maybe. But not the 15s. I'm not aware of any auto braking in the 15s. So no, I got to pull that caliper apart. I did upgrade all the lines in the 6.0. I do plan to upgrade them in the 6.7. It's just a matter of dealing with bleeding brakes again. But I got to pull my passenger front off, and I'm going to check. I'm going to re-grease the sliders and press the piston back in and see if that doesn't fix my little issue here with it. Seemingly, it's definitely sticking a little bit, when it was up on the lift, I had my tires rebalanced yesterday. Excuse me. And I was turning it, and it's clearly harder to turn my passenger side. Like I had to muscle it, and then I go to my driver's side, and it just whoop, turns right away. So I got to deal with that. Again, a potential weekend project. So Jerome, really what it was why I went with Ford Motorcraft stuff is because I figured if they were going to cover anything, they were probably going to cover OEM and not aftermarket stuff. So that's why I specifically went Motorcraft. I will say this: Motorcraft makes nice stuff. One of the things Motorcraft ensures a certain level of quality. Their brakes and rotors are good brakes and rotors. Are there better brakes and rotors out there? 100%. Are there better calipers out there? 100%. But you're guaranteed a level of quality at that point. So, Ninja, thank you, man. I'll definitely look into it in the future for things I'm planning further out with build stuff that, I'll hit you up and see. And I appreciate anything. I definitely appreciate all of you guys. I hope everybody knows that. You guys have been amazing during this time with this channel. We're on track. One of my big goals I've set out to is hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to do about 72-ish thousand views this month. Between 70 and 72,000 views this month is what we're looking like we're going to do. So I'm super excited and super grateful for all that. That last month was a record month for views at 69,600 some odd views, and this month we're breaking another record. We're going to have roughly 300,000 minutes watched of content. So I'm super excited about hitting those goals and crushing them, and I look forward to continuing to crush those goals in the future. But anyway, Jerome, yeah, so it was kind of for me pushing back against the company I bought the truck from that wasn't super forthcoming with all the issues I was going to encounter. It's a whole debacle. We're not going to be gathered up in that nonsense anymore. We're past it. We got the truck running pretty good here. I am waiting for a crankcase vent filter. 2 weeks out. They can't get, this whole COVID thing's driving me nuts because parts aren't available. So I'm 2 weeks out on a crankcase vent filter for the truck. My local dealership does treat me pretty well, and I've been trying to spend more money at dealerships and Diesel and Automotive, who I go to for performance stuff, and just trying to support local businesses. That's the other thing, Ninja. The warranty is killer for it. So I think that's it is hard to beat a good warranty. I'm a little behind here. What tuner do I suggest to make this happen? AJ, I suggest SCT. I had a link earlier and now, oh wait, it might still be, I might still have it. Yeah. AJ, check out that playlist. It talks about the best tuner for the 6.0. Goes into some tunes. It has links to affiliate links for products to support the channel on there. If you need a tuner and are interested in buying one, all your information's there. Yep, get a hold of me. Yeah. CTS, I just unplugged it. Currently, I'm running stock injectors. How good are AFE intercooler pipes and boots? AFE has an excellent reputation. I personally don't have any experience with them. I have heard great things about them. Again, personally, I haven't had experience with them. But if you like the way they look and stuff, I think that's probably a good kit. I don't like Mishimoto pipes or clamps. Their boots are nice and good quality. MBRP is what I run on the hot side. A pizza sounds delicious right now. I run MBRP for the hot side intercooler pipe, and I run No Limit Fab for my cold side pipe. Those are ones I have experience with. The Mishimoto, No Limit, and MBRP I have personal experience with. AFE I do not, but again, I've heard good things about them. Lost your spring? Jerome, what spring are you talking about? Oh, your springtime. I hear you. Mongoose, thank you for saying the channel is your warranty. I hope we help. I'm glad to know that we're helpful for people. Really, I do love it, and it is cool to be able to give back to the community. So, yeah, Ninja, I gotta say, I'm keeping my receipts because I'm currently tracking all the money spent on parts and stuff, so that the government can't tax me out of my mind for what little bit of money I do make on during this endeavor. But it is just having that reassurance is awesome, and it makes life so much easier. Jay, have a good one, brother. Glad you could join in. Hope you have a good one. You take care. Man, I'm shocked. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes in, and not one person has harassed me about making sure I do a 3-hour live stream. Was it Mike? Was it Mike Hunt that was giving me a hard time, or was it you, Nick, about making sure I do these nice and long? We got close to breaking the record of most viewers at one time once. At one point we were up to like 28. Getting a call from warranties. Which, guys, again, if you haven't hit that like button already, please do. We're catching on the previous record for most likes in a video, slowly but surely. And of course, 60 Bro Gear, link down in the description. Honestly, I'll say this: I started early enough. If there is enough want to continue at the 3-hour mark, we'll keep going. It's kind of an expectation to run till 11. If you guys are still in, you guys are still having fun, we're still got plenty of people talking and interacting, I will keep going till 11. I probably won't be able to talk tomorrow when I'm trying to shoot a video, but I will keep it going as long as you guys are interested. Sorry, guys, I do have one text message I got to answer here. Crap, I have more text messages than I realized. Sorry. All right. Stereos. I haven't talked about stereos in a while. I actually really love sound system stuff, and I've been looking at sound system stuff for the 6.7 because it leaves a little to be desired. My 6.0 has a pretty nice sound system. And actually, one of the last gifts I for the one Christmas, I haven't gotten to install, and I'm super irritated I haven't installed this yet. I have Rockford door speakers ready for my 6.0 and a Rockford amp for the door speakers. I have two 12-inch kicker subwoofers powered by an MB Quartz amp in the very back, pushing about 1,000 watts to the subs. I really miss that. Now, I will say the 15 has for a factory sound system, it's not terrible. It is. Oh, Nick, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love hearing that. I love hearing that your boys are excited about my merch. That makes me feel good. I'm super excited for that. Let them know I said hi, and thank you so much for the support, guys. Really does mean the world to me, seriously. To the stereo question, The head unit in my 6-liter is an auto pumpkin. I saw someone else, Drome, recommends them. It's basically an Android tablet that does mirror link if you want your phone, if you just want your phone to hook up to it, or I just downloaded the apps I used right to it, and I hotspot my cell phone's internet service to the head unit, and I play my Spotify while I'm cruising or Google Maps, whatever. It's all on there, and that's what I've really enjoyed. I love it. While we're on the topic of sound systems, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the 6.7. I did recently find some stuff that will give me the ability to add, without splicing into a bunch of factory wires, will give me the ability to add a amp and speakers and everything, and still keep all the factory chimes and everything functional. It just gets rid of the factory amp. It allows you to get rid of the factory amp, put an aftermarket amp in. So I am looking at that in my 6.7, and I'm not looking for the same kind of I'm not trying to cram two 12-inch subwoofers in my 2015. I mean, I do plan to switch out the subwoofers in my white truck when it's back. It's odd. I love sound. I love music, and I like high quality music. So one of the first projects I want to do when the 6.0 is back, it'll probably hurt everyone's heart that I'm going to do this, but I'm literally going to pull the entire interior out and put sound deadening down, get new carpet for it. I mean, it'll be really cool when it's done, but when I'm doing it, everyone's going to be like, he just got this truck back and he's tearing it back apart. We're tearing everything out of it when it comes back, and we're going to just redo it all. Sound deadening the whole way around. I do have to pull the white truck's an older truck now. You know, it needs a few things when the engine's back together. It just needs a few things done to it. The sunroof broke, so I gotta order the kit for that, pull that all down and replace that. But yeah, so sound deadening, new carpet. It's going to get the carpet that has extra backing to it, so it's nice and quiet. And then I would like to do a different set of kicker release different subs since I had them, and they're supposed to perform better in the. There's very little air volume in that setup. They're supposed to perform better in that. And then once it's all recarpeted, I want to do an amp rack underneath the rear seat with my subwoofer amp and the door speaker amp. And while it's all apart, we're going to run all of our wires to all the speakers, so it'll be nice and clean and hidden. Yeah, I'm super excited for all that. It's going to be a while, but I am very excited for it. Such a quiet fat mat. Yeah, I've looked into, because it was something I was honestly looking into getting done back then. But, sorry. All right, done texting. I'm sorry. So yeah, the sound system in the white truck is going to be absurd when it comes back. I just want to increase the sound quality in the black truck right now. Eli, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream, brother. I have not seen the 05 through 08 F-150 steering wheels. And Mongoose, what year truck do you have? Do you have I have an 04. Are they putting them in those trucks? The only steering wheel controls I have in my white truck are, what do I have? It's been so long. I sat in it the other day at the shop and it just felt right. I missed that darn truck. And it's just cruise control, actually, I think. Just the cruise control stuff. So, no, but I haven't seen that stuff, the F-150 steering wheel and a Super Duty. Let's see here. So for the black truck, anyway, I was thinking about upgrading to an amp and just running wires to everything. I don't want it to be too out of control, but I would like a little bit of an increase in sound quality, get rid of the factory sub, maybe put a, I know JL makes nice subwoofers. They're a little expensive, but I have that 113-inch sub. If that would fit, that'd be cool. I just want something more than I have now, and maybe just a 10-inch sub would make me happy. Or if I could get a 12, would really be thrilled with a 12. But something with a little more oomph to it would be really nice in the black truck. I do plan to replace all the speakers in it. I think that needs done. Needs done. But I was thinking it'd be cool in the black truck. I want to add, so for my camper, I want to find a way to wire up, and I think I actually have this figured out now, how I want to wire up for the ability to use like a backup camera on my camper. So it'll take I'll have to obviously install stuff on my camper, but it would be cool to have like a backup camera that came up and hooked up to like my edge monitor. So instead of having like my gauges when I'm backing the camper up, I could see behind my camper. That being said, backing up, we have a pretty good system with my family for backing the camper up. It's not a big deal, but it would be kind of nice to see back there as well. Not that it would be perfect, but it would at least help a little bit. Let's see here. 07 has cruise control, climate control. Yeah, I do know. I think in 05 is when you could start getting like radio controls on them. And that's part of one of the reasons I don't want to mess with the head unit in the 6.7. I have seen there's a way to do mirror link with your phone. I've considered that a little bit. But all in all, while I do wish some things worked better on just the head unit and stuff, all in all, the connectivity with Sync, I think in the 15s it's Sync 2, works pretty well, and overall I'm happy. I guess I don't have to watch YouTube while I'm driving like I can in the white truck. And I have watched movies once or twice while driving. Not my smartest moment, but it is kind of fun. Backup cam on my fifth air camper use. It's a Mia. How do you like it? Like, is it just I feel like while I don't need it, I feel like it would just be nice to not need so many people paying attention. Like, I want the visual back there so I can see it. I still have people guiding me and everything, but you just never know. Yeah, Ethan, that would be cool. I think I'm pretty certain in like the brand new, like I think with Sync 3 you can, but Sync 2, I don't believe you can have more than one camera, the backup camera Ford uses. I wouldn't mind one on the front. I'd like to, I thought it'd be cool to replace the front Ford emblem and put a camera there for when you're like pulling up in the Sheetz parking lot or something. They got those posts sticking out of the ground. Other things I've thought about so I want to black out the 6.7. I know everyone's like, oh, I've heard this, and it made me laugh the other day because I've talked about this more than once. Like, all blacked out trucks look the same, and people got super upset on this forum, and I'm like, it's kind of true. You watch your own channel while driving. I gotta tell you, I watch my channel very little. I do the premiere with you guys, and they're fun. Sometimes we get more people active than others, but on the premieres when I'm in the live chat for that. But all in all, I watch my own videos so many times during the editing process that I am just done watching my crap by the time it gets live to you guys. Seriously, I don't even know how many times I watch. Like, by the time I'm done making edits on the actual content that gets posted, I've probably watched that like 3 more times before it actually gets out to you guys. Ethan, so we lost compression on cylinder 7, 8. I forget one of them. We lost compression on one of the cylinders on the 6-liter. So what we're going to do, or what the current plan is, I talked about this a little last live stream. Very shortly, it'll actually be in the shop, so I'm super happy about that. The cab's going to get pulled. The head's going to get pulled. We're going to find out what the actual problem is. Once that is done, we are going to turn around. Hopefully it's minor, and this is the plan, is hopefully it's minor. I get my truck back really, really soon, and I can start making 6-liter content again, because I miss making 6-liter content. If that's the case, we are then going to save up, and we are going to turn around. And what sucks is I know one of the first things I need to do when I get that truck is I need to do a brake job in the rear. I am so tired of doing brake jobs. I feel like all I do is brake jobs sometimes. The rear of the white truck needs a brake job. The rear of my black truck needs a brake job. That'll go on video, but it won't be like dedicated, like step by step by step, because it's exactly the same as a previous brake video. I did a very thorough one on the white truck when I did rear brakes. I'll link that, but I'm not going to do a thorough one on the black truck because, again, it's exactly the same. Anyway, that needs done on both of those trucks. But ideally, the 6.0 comes back and just needs something stupid, valve replaced or whatever on the head. I can get that truck back, start making content with it again, and saving up to have a short block built from Kill Devil Diesel to bring that onto the channel and do an engine swap on the 6-liter with that, and basically come with something built to handle what I'm doing to the 6-liter. Because honestly, we're going to up the horsepower even more than we already have. And it's kind of where the truck's old, it's got a lot of miles on it, and I'm hard on it. I mean, I didn't make a 500 horsepower truck or 600 horsepower truck and then not drive it around. I made about 500, it probably does about 520-ish, give or take, 520 horsepower. And then I raced it a bunch of times. And then I tow with it. And then I'm doing dumb stuff on the road, making videos for you guys. And I enjoy it too, don't get me wrong. It's not just for you guys. But I'm hard on it. So it's just at a point where, it's one thing if you're going to make 520 horsepower and you're going to baby it 98% of the time. I make 520 horsepower and I drive the crap out of it all the time. So that's what's currently going on with the 6.0. Let's see here. It's a backup camera. For the gooseneck when loading. Also handy to see if I'm being tailgated by an idiot. Oh, you gotta love tailgaters. They drive me insane. 105 miles. Do I not do anything to it? So Clint, here's if you have this is my perspective. I did a video on this. Let me get you a link to this video. What to do first when you get a 6.0? Because I get this question a lot. And honestly, if your truck's fine, do stuff like what this video talks about. A lot of guys want to stud their vehicles. I mean, please don't leave the live stream for that. Open that video up in another screen. Watch it after the live stream. Which reminds me, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. We're going for a record number of likes. We're at 74 on the previous live stream is our current record likes. Let's try to beat that. That one is 2 weeks old. It's got some time on this one. I think this one will beat it. We're doing really good on the likes on this one. But anyway, if nothing's wrong with it, I don't think you should mess with it. Do your maintenance stuff, like I say in that video, like blue spring mod, check your fuel pressure. If you, depending on year of it, if you don't know if the snap to connect fitting's been replaced or your standpipes, dummy plugs, get them replaced if you're not sure. Those are your high pressure oil leak areas. Replace the plastic charge pipe if you have that nonsense. Now, Ninja, have a good one, brother. I need to post. Dude, you do need to post a video. Those 64 millimeters sound amazing from Turbo Time USA. So definitely get that posted, brother. So I would worry about those things. If you want to do some mild upgrades, that's one thing, which you'll find the build series I'm going to start doing here probably in the next week and a half. You'll probably enjoy that, which will kind of be talking about like, if you have a relatively factory truck, this is what you should do. If you're studded, here's what you should do. If you're at this level, and kind of trying to help steer people in the direction of what's sensible for their builds and what is kind of goofy for their builds. And at what point do you need to start considering, what horsepower should you be looking at transmissions? Like, a factory 5R with fresh fluid in it is going to hold 500 pretty much all day long, provided you're not beating on it at the track. So that's one of the goals I'm looking at for videos. What turbo do you recommend for an 04? Bad, not looking to upgrade a bunch of other stuff yet. It's basically a work truck 350. So Carol, you got, I'm going to say, so you're kind of going to be in the same boat somebody else was. First, I want to say I'm sponsored by Turbo Time USA is who I'm going to recommend. I will say this, if they made a bad product, I would let people know that. I don't care if people give me stuff. If it's bad, I'm going to say it. And they make a killer product. Their turbos are awesome. There should be a link in the description that's an affiliate link that'll also give you 5% off all of their performance turbos. Now, you could go with the factory replacement. You'll be fine there for the most part. But if you are looking for a little increase in performance, definitely there's 61 millimeter. If you're just like, it's mainly a work truck, I just need something that does better than the factory unit. The 61 millimeter will do great. And my coupon code will give you 5% off that. The 64 millimeter is my favorite upgrade turbo for 6-liter guys because it's just such, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Versatile. It's a very versatile turbo. It can do everything from stock injectors up to about injectors that'll support about 600 horsepower. Again, though, if you know you're never going to upgrade injectors, that for you, then the 61 millimeter is probably what I'd go with. Do you need it? No. Like, and I want to be very honest about that. I don't have a coupon code for a factory turbo, but if you go that route, I think overall you'll be happy with a new turbo in there. You'll see better performance out of 61 millimeter, but you're not, you definitely don't need it. F-150 Raptor. I saw an original Raptor at the Ford dealership. I was sat down to order the oh crap, what was I just saying? Crankcase vent filter. We were talking about this a little bit ago. And there was an awesome Raptor. It was super clean. It was that original like orange red that they released in with the side graphics. Looked killer. I was like, man, one day it'd be cool just to have one to goof around with. And at some point I'd love to do a little build with one of them, but right now it's, we're sticking with diesel. I don't have the money to buy another truck. Ninja, enjoy your pizza, man. Have a good night, brother. Yeah, Carol, I will say this. There's other good builders out there. I will say I'm yet to hear someone be unhappy with Turbo Time USA. I've been super happy. They've been a great company to work with. And I will say this, buying a turbo from those guys, one of their performance turbos, does go back and help supports the channel. It helps continue to make all this happen, whether it's a live feed like tonight or sorry, arms bugging me here. Or just the repair videos, the updates, the product review videos. you know, I really do appreciate everyone that does that. I just want to be very honest that for your build, I don't think you necessarily need an upgraded. I also think you'll be very happy with an upgraded turbo. Ethan, yeah, the 61 millimeter. It's just Rich, thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining us. So, turbo sizes, we'll talk about that. 6-liter turbo sizes. So the early turbos, the 03 turbo that has the crazy loud whistle, is a 59 millimeter inducer on their compressor wheel. Has a 10-blade turbine wheel. On the late 04, I think even still early 05 turbos were this way too. They were a 13-blade turbine wheel that wasn't quite as tall, but was the same diameter wheel, just with 13 blades on the turbine wheel. The compressor side remained 59 millimeters. Then in late 05, they went to it's like 56 point something or 57 points. It's 56 point something. It's not COVID, don't worry. Just I've been talking for 2.5 hours almost nonstop. My throat's a little dry. Anyway, in late 05, they went, the compressor wheel and the turbine wheel both got smaller. The turbine wheel stayed 13 blades, but got, again, much smaller. And on the compressor side, it's like 56.6 or 56.7 millimeters. So they went a good bit smaller on the compressor wheel. So go up to Turbo Time USA, you have the 61 millimeters, they're stage 1. Again, with a billet wheel, it's designed for better flow. It's not just another wheel they throw in there. So it will get you, besides the fact that it's larger in diameter, it's a better design, so it'll give you better overall performance. And they paired it with the 10-blade turbine wheel, which is my favorite upgrade turbine wheel for the 6-liter. I know some guys love the 13 blades. I'm just not a super big fan of them personally. If you do run them, I think the late 04 is the one you should run because it's at least larger, it has better flow than the very late 6-liter ones, where they're really just trying to get as fast of spool up as possible. So I went to a slightly smaller charger. They got that right off the line, but it runs out of steam pretty quick. So the stage 1, you have 61 millimeter. Stage 2, they have the 64 millimeter turbos. They have the velocity port and without the velocity port. Then they have their Predator series, which is a 66 millimeter with a special wheel and design for just those Predator series. You can get them with and without the velocity ports as well. Those turbos are when guys are less concerned about towing and more about having a really fun street truck. I would like to try towing once with my 66 millimeter just to do it and give guys a review. But the 64 is really where most people are going to love their turbos. That's a great middle ground. And again, 6 Obros, we'll type this down here, 5% off. It was 5% off on their performance turbos. There should be a link down in the description as well. It's just a Power Max, right? Ethan, it is not just a Power Max. I'm sure some people have already started talking about this. The bee's knees. It is. So a Power Max is a very specific turbo from Garrett. It is a 63.5 millimeter compressor wheel. It has the same turbine wheel as the early 03 turbos, but a different variable vane design that isn't quite as loud as an 03 turbo. The 03 turbos have the crazy loud magic happening vanes. That's what I was trying to say. So Turbo Time USA uses 03 turbos as their core turbo, and then they modify them and do all their stuff to them, and then we get our turbos sent out. So you're saying go with I will go through your channel for sure. Carol, yeah, in my opinion, the 64 millimeter turbo will be perfect. Again, you don't have to go that big, but I think it gives room on every area for what you want to do, and works great with factory size stock injectors is what I'm attempting to say very poorly, I might add. And again, make sure to use that coupon code for 5% off. It is an affiliate code. I do get a kickback. I try to be very forthcoming with that for a couple different reasons. One of which is I'm all about being super. All right, I can't believe that actually worked, that it stopped going yellow. But morally, I'm just trying to do the right thing, and that's the most important thing to me. I'll have to look into that, man. Mongoose, I haven't heard anything about that, but that'd be really cool if I could hook up multiple cameras in my 6.7, because that's definitely what I want to do. Last one I was asking about my trans temps while towing. I found my Radicooler was plugged with crud. Check yours, cleaned and now below 200 on mine. Yeah, Rich, I'll have to check because my truck definitely has been through the ringer prior to my ownership of it. I have looked in. There's a few people that have transmission cooler upgrades for the 6.7. I'm considering that. And by considering that, at some point I will upgrade. Probably after I tow one more time with it, just to kind of get it all under my belt. Then I'll probably upgrade and go from there. And I'll definitely be doing a deep dish transmission pan for it, probably from Magtech, because I have the Magtech oil pan on there. So I'll like that matching. I'll probably do a Magtech rear diff cover as well. I'll probably just leave a factory diff cover on the front. But who knows? Dude, when you get that stage 2 on there, you're gonna be blown away by how well your truck performs. Carol, hey, I have Instagram, I have a Facebook page. I try to answer everything on my videos and stuff here. So if you have questions, that's part of why I can talk. That's part of why we started the channel. Is to help people, and it turns out that it's at a point where I do make a little bit of money from it, and I just invested all back in the channel and continue to do stuff to bring you guys content. So if you have questions, I try to make myself as available as possible for you. Just that's what I really try to do. So feel free to reach out anytime, day or night. I'm around. Maybe if I had another light here, maybe that's all I need to do. I have a light here, and maybe I just need a light here. I have them both shining on me to stop this orange thing that happens sometimes, because it drives me insane. When I turn this light right here on, the problem is then this one, it messes up with the video. I don't like it. Rich, but definitely will be doing an upgrade there. For the transmission cooler at some point. Yeah, Doom. Nick has a point. While I definitely love TurboTime USA, the other two companies that I know have good reputations, KC Turbo. I will say it's a little harder to get all of their turbos to match up and be a complete true apples to apples comparison. Sorry, I was looking at this next one. That's going to require some thought to do. As we're going, guys, if you haven't already hit the like button, we're going for a record number of likes. And also merch store, link down in the description to the Amazon merch store. Check them out as well. We are currently talking about turbos for those of you that are just joining us. So for the TurboTime USA Stage 2 turbo, they have a 64 millimeter with the 10-blade turbine wheel. The closest KC turbo, in my opinion, that matches that would be their Stage 2. excuse me, which is a 64.7 millimeter turbo, again with the 10-blade turbine wheel, so a little bit larger. They also have their own custom covers. That's it's a slightly different AR ratio. It's a little bit bigger. So there's that. Titan Turbo Services has great quality. He really, I know he has worked with wheel design, just like the other two companies listed. I'm not exactly sure of the spec of his turbo. I know he offers us something in the 64 millimeter range. I just don't know what it is. But all three companies have great recommendations. Turbo Time USA, though, 5% discount code I actually have. I am sponsored by them, so take that with a grain of salt. Do the best research you can. I will say any of those companies you'll be thrilled with. Again, it's all about keeping honesty. I did a video recently. I should find that and link that in here. Best 6.0 Powerstroke turbo. I try to really kind of talk about everything with that. So, Carol, you're welcome anytime. James, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to have you in here. It's like the second wave crowd's coming in. The guys that are like, I don't want to listen to him too long. He's got to be getting tired of talking soon. Just kidding, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you guys all in here. Damien, you've snapped 3 rockers. Come to find out, on the passenger bank, all 4 injectors are being hit by the cylinder's individual intake rocker. All 4 injectors are being hit by the cylinder's individual intake rocker. Could I have installed something wrong, or could the shop that made my heads have made them incorrectly? So, Damien, I just want to clarify something and make sure. I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. The piston isn't hitting it. You're having the rocker, like your valve train that you can see when you pull your valve cover off, is hitting it. You could have an intake and an exhaust one backwards, maybe. That I don't know if that's possible. I've never taken valve train off of the 6-liter and put it back on. That would be my guess. I don't know that it's possible though. Do you have pictures of it that you could send me on Instagram to look? It sounds like something might be a little off on the install. I would be shocked if the cylinder head was, that'd be a really big screw up. And I doubt that, whose cylinder heads are you running? That'll make it nice and easy to find out if it's a quality company or not. Who is this? What brand cylinder head are you running? Let's see here. Mongoose, technically, I mean, we have exhaust notes from Josh's truck when we had the factory exhaust on. We installed a Diamond Eye Performance exhaust on it. And we have, we have clips of us at different stages of chopping the factory exhaust off, and then different states of installing the new exhaust on there. We want the 4-inch off the turbo, which I will say for towing, I would probably do a 3.5-inch downpipe. If we did Josh's exhaust over again, I would definitely do a 3.5-inch downpipe to a 4-inch out the back would be my recommendation. I know that's not exactly what you asked for, but that's what I would do. Are there upgrades you should do before a turbo, or can you just slap a bigger turbo on? JRW. So it really depends what you want to do. You can upgrade your turbo first if you want. You will. I do recommend tuning, getting custom tunes written for that turbo size. But the 64 millimeter will still run good with stock injectors, so you could go that big. But you would definitely notice more lag if you didn't tune at the same time. But you could put it on. I know I had ran factory tuning and the Power Max turbo on my 6-liter for a while, or at least while I was diagnosing issues here and there. So that's one thing you could do. It just kind of depends what you what you're looking for in your overall build. And if you have bad parts, but there isn't an issue with throwing. I wouldn't go bigger than a 64 millimeter, personally speaking, but you can, because you can run that with factory injectors and it still perform really well. Damien did the clip snap or the rocker arms. Good thing, good thought process. Turbo time killing. They're super salty about the power we are seeing out of these chargers. Chris, I gotta tell you, I do. So I love Turbo Time USA. First and foremost, there is somebody claiming to be making 600 horsepower on 175 stock nozzle injectors. And I don't want to get too caught up in the argument that had happened at one point. And I hope I wish that guy well. I really do. But I know he thinks I'm like a super goofball, doesn't like me, and all this I hate when I look orange. I just don't like it. But anyway, the Turbo Time USA chargers perform amazing. They're phenomenal. Everybody that's tried one, that's talked to me, has been super happy, and that's what I care about. I will say I don't believe that anybody out there is making 600 horsepower with 175 stock nozzles. That's just absolute garbage. I sorry, like that is a claim I will continue to say no to. But and I didn't like the way that person kind of said some pretty rude stuff. It is now non VGT. He's a yeah, I don't like that guy. And let me just say that I don't know him personally. I just don't like the way he conducts himself online at all. You know, you can be proud of a product, you can represent a company, and you cannot say, and you can still not be disrespectful to other companies. That's kind of my biggest thing is, and don't get me wrong, maybe it's because I was around when KC Turbo started his company. Like I was on Powerstroke forums when he started it. It was kind of cool to see it go. He's contributed a lot of information in the 6-liter world, so I'm kind of some of that information I've personally pulled from, and I think that's kind of part of like, and he has a good product. He was like one of the first companies to really push quality VGT turbos, modded VGT turbos, after a previous builder had kind of started and failed. So, complete tool online. No, that guy really is. And I know, like I said, I know he thinks I'm a complete loser, and I don't really care. That's not what I'm here for. But did he really blow up 2 VGT turbos? Like, I know that guy talks. I don't really know his build, but that's like not cool. Sorry, got caught up. I'll jump off my soapbox now, guys. MBRP definitely has a 3.5-inch downpipe. A few guys offer them. Should check oil temp deltas before new turbo. Sound advice, Sean. I agree with that. Making sure your temps aren't out of whack before you upgrade. Mongoose, yeah, that is one thing. It could be a pushrod issue. I've never seen my phone's going off. Did he? No, this is something else. I was making sure I didn't get his Instagram messages with pictures in already. Yeah, no, I don't have anything. I was gonna, if we had it, I was gonna look at it, try to figure it out. Hold on, Doom. I'm gonna get to these comments I'm looking past in a second. Mongoose, I think you're right. Depending on what it is, it definitely could be one of those issues. Depending on how they are, the part that gets me is he said they were hitting the injector themselves, so that's kind of different. That's kind of different. That's why I wanted to see a picture of it, and I hope he gets that to me so I can help him out because it's just kind of eh. It is now. Chris, so he contacted you saying the company that saying Turbo Time was junk and then that you should run his? Oh, dude, I gotta tell you, I'm orange again. I really hate being orange. Very upsetting right now. Stop it. Yeah, no, Turbo Time USA is made. I gotta tell you, every time I've called, I've got Mike is the gentleman that if you call Turbo Time USA, you'll most likely talk to Mike. He's always answered the phone when I call, and we always have a good conversation. And they stand behind their products, and that's what matters to me. And I got to tell you, everybody. I actually think Chris, you may have been one of the first guys to get a turbo after I after I got sponsored by them. You were one of the earlier ones. There's a guy, Jerry, also that was up there too. Jeremy, let me know how the forced regen goes. I haven't used that. Jeremy, and thank you, man. Really appreciate you hanging out this long and supporting the channel, brother. Thank you. But comment later and let me know how the forced regen works. I want to do a video on it. I just want to know how long it takes, too, before I do it. So, anyway, man, have a good night. Good luck with that, and talk to you soon. Thank you again. Hi, puppy. Who wants to see my pup? You guys don't really get a choice. I'm showing you my dog. Look at the camera, Izzy. Huh? She's not having it. Chris, who knows with that guy? Honestly, I don't want to get into like too much trash talking. I just don't want to, but yeah, I have issues with that guy. I wish him well, but he doesn't conduct himself in a super professional manner, and he likes to talk a lot about stuff that isn't plausible. 175 cc bodied injector in no way without nitrous makes 600 horsepower. I don't care how big of a nozzle you put on it and how many RPMs you spool. You're not making 600 with that injector. But Turbo Time USA, awesome turbos, love them. And there's the 6-liter world has a few really good turbo makers in it. Everybody kind of has their area, but Turbo Time USA has been super good to me. And if you ask any of the subscribers running their product, they will all tell you how great they are. So I'm very fortunate to be aligned with such a good company and a company that supports me through all this as well. So check them out, guys. Yeah, Chris, I hear you, brother. Seriously. Man, it's kind of dying down. You guys aren't making me work as hard for this. It is kind of sad we are not going to break our previous record of. I was really hoping to hit 30. I was really, really hoping we could have hit 30 viewers at once in here. But guys, we're gonna. We were in the 20s for a long time with viewers, so we were up there pretty good. And we're at 53 likes, so that's good as well. During this time, though, we have gained like 10 or 12 subscribers during this live stream, so that's pretty awesome. I was super excited about that. So I have my metrics down here. Looking them up as we're going. Definitely been a good live stream, but definitely pulled a lot of people in, so that's good. We're still going. We're still going, guys. We're not closing down yet. Doom, I'm not running aftermarket diff covers. Now, I do have plans to. I'll probably do a MagTech on the 6.7, but there's a really cool. It's like a Ford one though. That's just like a cast with fins. It's just raw. I'd like to put that on the 6.0. I think it looks cool. My dad asked me if I'd service his diff soon, so I will. I'll probably make him buy that as well. It's pretty affordable. I think it's like $75 online. But since I kind of started with the MagTech oil pan for the 6.7, I want to kind of keep that going on my 6.7. But for the 6.0, I plan to not do that. Yep, Carol, no problem. Please let them know tell them who sent you, and the coupon code be able to get you an extra 5% off if you purchase one of their performance chargers. And again, any questions ever, just drop into one of the, either a video, hit me up on Instagram, the Facebook page, whatever. If you have questions, I'm here to help answer them. Yeah, Nick, I thought about doing because I think the 6.4 or the early years, or the early, whatchamacallits, hold on, it's going to come to me. 6.7s had like an aluminum diff cover on the front. I have thought about that for the 6 liter. I don't know if I'll actually do it or not, but I definitely like that cast one for the rear on my 6 liter and probably my dad's 7.3. What would you do if you found out the white truck just lost? Nick, I will say I know that that's not it because it was compression tested already. My luck, it'd end up being like the glow plug. No, though, I'd be upset. But when it first happened, I did take the injector out and crammed a new one in that cylinder, and it actually ran worse. Much worse. Oh, dude, it was terrible. My neighbors definitely hated me that day, as it's like just spewing white and black smoke out in the property. Oh yeah, my neighbors had to hate me. There weren't a lot of bugs around that day, I'll tell you that. But oh yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad. It does move. I will say this: it did move on its own power. It didn't die, but all that one cylinder had to be upset. Nick, I got to tell you, though, if that happened, I would be so happy I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I'd be that happy. Is there any way at all to turn off my check engine light? You mean just like turn it off so it doesn't turn on at all? I mean, I guess you could pull your dash apart and pull the bulb. But I'm trying to think. Doom, do you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook? If so, message me privately. We can talk about that more. Some things I just don't want to talk about on live streams and stuff, and keep it as private as possible. I really don't know what's going on with the lighting, guys. I'm kind of gonna just give up soon. But perfect, man. Carly's suspension, I have no experience with. I've heard really good things about them. I hear amazing things about Carly. I hear great things about Icon. Depends, like, are you looking to upgrade a suspension part, Mongoose, or just curious if I like Carly or not? I have no personal experience with them, I can tell you that. Edward, good to have you here, brother. Mentioned once the CAC system turbo boots Might be leaking pressure. I think you had the Mishimoto. Is this possible? Is this if they're seated correctly? So, charge air systems on 6 liters and common leaks. So, I can't stand the orange, guys. How did I go down in likes? We were at like 53 likes a second ago, and now we're at 46. Whoever took your likes back, you go put them back on there. So the charge air system and boost leaks on 6 liters. So most common boot to fall apart on a 6 liter is the boot right off the turbo. It's subjected to the highest heat temps. It has to deal with the most amount of boost pressure and oil dealing with it. So all of them super hard on a boot. Man, my metrics. Oh, that's weird. So, odd little thing happening right now with YouTube. I don't know if I lost subscribers. I am going to get back to that question or what, but it just kicked. So we lost 10 likes on this video, and I lost 10 subscribers at the same time. YouTube's playing games, guys. YouTube's just playing games. Oh, I lost more subscribers. That's kind of upsetting, but we'll deal with that later. So yeah, I don't remember the conversation that we were talking about. I did have a stint with a cheap set of CAC boots at one point, and that didn't go well. Doom, I'll talk about losing subscribers in a minute. You'd be shocked. So is it possible to lose to be leaking pressure off? Yes, it's possible to have a cut that you can't see in the boot as well. I always tell people it's honestly did Killary get a job at YouTube? It feels like it. And I feel like she is attacking me something fierce right now. Anyway, it's the EPA. Anyway, yeah, so you can be losing pressure through those systems. It could be it can be a combination of bad boots. Apparently, maybe it's the orange. Maybe they think I'm like trying to be Trump or something. They just don't like me. Anyway, it could be the clamps aren't able to keep a tight seal. It could be that the boots are just worn out. I mean, they are subjected to a lot of crap, and they do wear out, and they could just start leaking. They could develop cuts in them. So if your boots look like they're in rough shape and you feel like you're experiencing some issues, excuse me, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to just replace them with high quality boots. I really like the No Limit stuff, MBRP. Mishimoto, I like their boots. They seem nice. I hate their clamps and I hate their pipes. I wouldn't use either of those, but the other stuff I think is pretty solid stuff, and I do recommend that. So I hope that helps. Doom, how the hell am I losing subscribers? So this is one thing a lot of people don't realize is so it's a constant revolving door of gaining and losing subscribers. So actual number of gained subscribers is more than I actually get in a month, because what happens is as accounts that died off get dropped off all the time, or this, that, and the next thing. Like once or twice a year, YouTube has a month where they kill off a bunch of inactive accounts. I don't know what the requirements for inactive accounts are, and it's basically just kind of keep their system clean. Sinister wants their blue back. This is gray. It does have a bluish tint on there, though. I could see a Sinister attack me for that. Um, but yeah, so it's a constant revolving door. Hey, Ninja's back. What's up, brother? So it's constant revolving door of gaining and losing subscribers all the time. So, uh, yeah. But I will say I've never seen me lose 10 subscribers like that. And it's just weird that it happens to correlate with the same time that we lost 10 likes on the video. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe 10 people really didn't like what I said. I don't know. But oh, my sister's here. I went orange again. It's not fair. The Hulk gets to turn a cool color of green. I turn Donald Trump orange. It's not. I'm not okay with it. I am not okay with it on any level. But oh well, on the subscriber front, that is a little frustrating. I don't know what happened. But nah, oh well, worse things, right, guys? But it was funny. Like I was like, man, like doing really good here. Then all of a sudden, nope, no longer doing good. But Ninja, what's up, man? How is the pizza? I'm a little jealous that you had pizza. That should be like a color Ford releases. Donald Trump orange. Jordan, nobody wants to see me work on your Lincoln. Literally nobody. The last video I did on an Edge from like 5 days ago has like 80 some views. Like, I got to tell you, nobody wants to see it. I'm pretty certain everyone's going to tell you the same thing. That they don't want to see it. Jordan, did you hit the like button? 10 more people bought a Cummins. It's a Mia. I don't know too many guys that are buying Cummins that are watching this channel. I will say we actually have a yeah, Jordan, you only hit it after we told you to hit it because I can actually see an in real time count, and all of a sudden we said it and then it went ding 46. But good try, Jordan. No, though, we have a pretty good mix of Cummins, Duramax, and obviously primarily 6.0 owners, some 6.7 guys, but we have some Cummins and Duramax fans in here. Hey, Nick, Ninja, that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes is a cell phone, man, to make videos. See, Jordan? They really just want 6.0 and 6.7 content. And honestly, he's just being nice about the 6.7 content. They want 6.0 content. That is what the fan base wants. Sorry guys, my sister, she's something. But you know, I am really ready for the 6.0 or the 6.0 to come back. I can't wait. I'm hopeful when they pull the cylinder head, it's a dumb issue, and I can start doing videos again. But honestly, even if that's the case, the goal really is going to be to put an engine in it. Excuse me. I definitely want to get an engine in it. How do you like the XD with the Cummins in it? I thought they were good looking trucks, and while I personally wouldn't buy one just because I need the heavier duty suspension of the 3/4 ton pickups, those XDs were pretty cool. I think they probably wanted a little much for them typically. A 6.0 swapped Crown Vic. I often think what like you can go low 14s in a relatively stock 6 liter with a tune. You know, pretty easily. It's not super hard to do. I think it would be cool to cram one in a like a Mustang and just see the difference between like the V8 Mustang and what that does and just like a mildly built 6 liter. The problem is I'm sure it takes an absurd amount of fab work to make that all work in a truck or in a car to support that kind of weight and everything, but I think it'd be cool. Doom, do you know how much your Excursion weighs by chance? I feel like they got to be heavy. I know. I think that my 250 is around 7,900. I had it on the. Well, I know it's around 7,900. I've had it on the scale. Really, only a little more. I would have thought it would have been like 8,500 to 9,000, to be honest. Not that 8,000 pounds is light. But I gotta tell you, I think you could definitely have it in the 13s relatively easily. But we are definitely, I think we're slowing down here a little bit, guys. I think we're gonna soon call it. One thing I do want to talk about, there's soon I can have a through my Amazon affiliates account, I found out I can actually get a storefront. So I plan to do that, like a page. So instead of a huge list of stuff, like I'll put individual links, like when I do suspension videos, like I've done in the past. But I plan to do that for some of the stuff that's just parts we've used, parts we recommend, to have a whole page to go to instead of having a million different links. So yeah, I mean, the horsepower numbers on those Nissan diesels were actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the factory numbers were pretty good out of them. So I imagine deleted tune numbers are probably really good. I've never really looked into it, but common rail injection, 5 liter V8. I love that they did a V8. But do they sound really cool, dude? Sound like a little kid all of a sudden. I bet it's pretty cool. You should definitely put a clip up of that on Instagram or something, man. Doom, yeah, if I had to guess, you're probably right that they are closer to about 9,000 pounds, is what I would have thought. It seems like it's a lot of extra weight to only be 100 or 300 pounds heavier than a 250. But well, guys, I think it's time. I think it's about time to start winding down here. Last minute questions, guys. Shoot them out now while we're still going live. What have you guys thought of the every other week setup? Do you guys like the every other week setup on the live streams? The other thing, I am planning a few weekend trips that will prevent me from doing a Friday night live stream. So how do people feel about a Thursday night live stream? Now, I will say this. A Thursday night live stream, I'm going to be a little stricter on keeping it to 3 hours. It would still be the 7 to 10, mainly because I have to be to work at 6:45 in the morning, and I am not a morning person. So what do you guys think about some of that stuff here? Looking for your feedback, making sure that it's something you guys would still want to do, even if it was on a Thursday night instead of a Friday night. Well, Jordan, if you can get if it gets busy again, I'll definitely keep it going. The BD throttle sensitivity booster for the 6-liter will not be coming right away when the truck's back. It is probably something I would definitely do because I do really like them and I think they're cool. But it's not something I'll probably do 100% right away. Okay, Doom, so you're good on whatever day. The Excursion with a 44-gallon tank is awesome. Can't wait for the Lincoln video. Ninja Josh is probably at home. He's doing well. He is super, unless Bank sends you theirs. Yeah, Nick, that was a funny comment, dude. I like that. That killed me. Good. All right. So I'm glad to know that you guys will still, and I'll try to give notification. I've been trying to drop hints on the live streams like 3-4 days in advance so people know. But the Excursion with 44-gallon tank's cool. One thing, I was looking into the Harpoon mod for Josh's truck because that's going to be a tow build. So I was looking at, I'll probably be doing that at some point. X code fronts, modified B codes in the back, but mine was set up to look off-road but stronger for towing. Jordan, you're lame. That's all I have to say. Oh, dude, I'm hating the range in my 6.7. 26-gallon fuel tank. I don't know. Now, I do believe they've currently fixed this. I think it's like up to 32. I think like the new trucks, like the 2020s, short bed crew cab gets like a 32-gallon tank, I think it is, or 34, something like that. But yeah, whoever sat down and said, guys, we should go with a smaller fuel tank for the truck made to tow a bunch of weight all over the world. Great idea. No, so I'm planning to do an S&B fuel tank on the 6.7. On my 6-liter, I'll leave it alone because that truck isn't, that truck's fine. But no, it's very frustrating. That's man, that's a long drive and still only kill it. Nick, I don't really like the in the bed fuel tanks. I know for some guys they're just needed. Rock onto those dudes, but yeah, it's a short bed, and I don't use my bed often for stuff, but I do use my bed. I don't want to give up what's in there, and I don't really care for the look of them personally. They're functional. At the end of the day, they do what they need to do, and they're relatively affordable too. But no, S&B fuel tank, probably a 60-gallon. I think they have they have like a 56 and a 60-gallon or something like that. But we'll be putting that in the 6.7. I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome, and it'll be nice to be able to drive and not worry about filling up all the time. Plus, when towing, you figure you get. I got about 9 this last time. Again, though, I have a sticking caliper, so I'm hoping that improves a little bit, especially once I do the rear. But the goal is to be able to drive from here to as close to South Carolina as I can. If I have 60 gallons and I'm getting about 9 miles per gallon, that'll put me all but in South Carolina. Like, I'll at least be able to drive from here to south of the border. And I know my bladder can't make it from here to south of the border because it's like 9 hours. But I am excited about that. I think that'll be cool. Plus, with a very tow focused build going on, I think the goal with this is, like, people love my 6-liter for all different reasons, but namely because it kind of was this do-it-all vehicle. And we're obviously going to start pushing more towards like a hot street truck that can tow if I ever needed it to, as opposed to strictly a tow build. Josh's truck is going to be strictly a tow build. My black truck is going to be strictly a tow build. Sure, will I run a street tune randomly on the 6.7 just to try it once? Definitely. But that's not the main purpose of that build. It's going to primarily be reviewing tow tunes, and that's it. And transmission tuning and doing stuff like, doing airbags and stuff like that. So it's trying to do a build that you guys want to do as well. Sure, a lot of people want to do the build I did on my 6-liter, but not a lot of people are going to because it's not practical. Most people don't own a diesel truck to race. They own a diesel truck to tow heavy crap with. So, Josh and I even looked at, have considered doing a 44-gallon tank, because you can pick 44-gallon excursion tanks pretty cheap, actually, like within like $200 to $400. But we are going to do the harpoon mod probably on his truck to give us the ability to add. I think people are claiming they get like an extra 4 or 5 gallons out of the factory tank in a 6-liter with that mod. So that's probably what we'll do for his truck. Yeah, like I said, at some point I need to sit down, and as we become able to, hopefully we can get back on track. I keep refreshing my subscribers as if like the ones I lost are going to come back. It's a shame. I was feeling really good until I lost 10 subscribers. Kill Devil Diesel aluminum heads going on in. So if I had to guess, say the issue with my 6-liter is mild and it's just an easy fix and I don't have to do a big thing, I'll probably take I'm orange again. I don't like that when I'm closer, I'm not orange. But when I come back, I'm orange. And I think it's because those lights down there went off. Jordan, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do a Donald Trump voice. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked here. I definitely got lost. So cylinder heads. We are making 6.0s great again. Doom, excuse me, sorry. I've been talking for a long time today. We're making 6.0 Powerstrokes great. That's what matters. That's what this live stream's about. YouTube's probably that's probably it. YouTube's probably deleting my account for talking like Donald Trump. So if my iron cylinder heads are good, freaking turning orange. There we go. I mean, this light is really bright in my face now. So the 6-liter, if everything can go back to well and it's good, I'm going to have the heads gone through, and UFC machining is actually really close, within like an hour drive of here. I'm going to take them down there, have them ported, because it's kind of the one thing I really wish I did and didn't do. And then we'll put that engine back together and we'll run it until I can save up and buy an engine. If I need to go get an engine, I'll probably just have the aluminum heads ported out and sent in. So that's something I'm considering doing. Yogi, no problem, man. Hope it helps. I see some of the other guys are starting to work on you, or work with you. Let me start working here. Thank you for your live stream. Turbo under boost. Should I consider upgrading? All right. So before you consider upgrading, I want you to consider a few things, because just because you're getting that code doesn't mean that you actually have a failed turbo. So before we consider your worst case scenario of a failed turbo and if you should upgrade or not, let's talk about causes for said code. Typically, in my experience, when it's throwing the underboost code, it is typically you have sticking vanes, which could mean you just need to pull your turbo out and clean them. I hate this. I hate it so much. So much. It's clearly a lighting issue that I am going to get fixed. I just haven't gotten around to it, guys. Before I spend money on lamps, I need to spend money on trucks. Anyway, so things that can cause issues with it. I think your lamp is possessed. It feels possessed, brother. There, I'm not by like an airstrip, but there's Harrisburg Airport's not is only like 20-minute drive from me. So, anyway, so sticking turbo vanes is a common issue, but before you pull a turbo and try to clean it, I would check your map sensor. I would check the hose that goes to your map sensor. That's the tube on your passenger side intake manifold that goes up there. I would pull that, check for cracks. Sometimes that'll cause it. Make sure all your sensors are plugged in and the wires aren't damaged. Your mass airflow sensor on your intake, your exhaust back pressure, which comes up on your passenger side. It can come in 2 different locations depending on year, but look for that. Check your VGT solenoid, make sure it's plugged in, though typically that doesn't throw that code. After you've checked those things and made sure the tube to your mass air pressure sensor on the passenger side intake to right above by your AC stuff, once that's checked out good, then you can start looking at your turbo. One last thing I forgot, check intercooler boots, make sure all of them are good. If you have a lot of, like if that top one off your turbo is really saturated in oil, I'd replace it with new clamps. The passenger side intercooler boots are the most common to fail, but make sure everything's in good shape and tightened up there before you go throw a turbo at it. I'd hate to find out that you spent the money for a turbo only to find out that you had an intercooler boot issue or the tube to your mass air pressure sensor was broken. Now, from there, do you have anything done to your truck now? Are you interested? Ed, have a good night, man. We're going to be closing out soon anyway. Have a good night, brother. Thank you for hanging out. If you find the 10 subscribers I randomly lost, send them this way. Let them know. It's very unfortunate. Anyway, at that point, what's done to your truck and do you want to upgrade? Are my next questions. Again, check those things first. Thanks, brother. Take care. Have a good weekend. Turbo. That's right. This probably be one of the last questions we really take care of here, guys, before I am going to answer Doom's question about off-roading and stuff in a little bit. So you could, if you want to upgrade, we've talked a lot about turbos tonight. Link in the description to Turbo Time USA. They are my sponsor, and that is an affiliate link. I do get a little something for that. But their 64 millimeter turbo is probably the best all-around turbo you can run. Has 10-blade exhaust side, which is great for up-top performance, but still spools pretty quick. If you know you will never, ever, ever upgrade your injectors, you could run their 61 millimeter turbo. It will spool a little faster. You won't have quite the same performance up top. Overall, it'll perform really well. It's a little cheaper too. Again, the coupon code down in the description for 5% off both of those turbos. Or you could just go factory. Factory turbos aren't bad. I like upgraded turbos. I will say that. I'm obviously biased for 2 reasons. They sponsor me and I really enjoy them. But definitely check those other things before you go spending money on a turbo. Would be my advice. Doom, I wouldn't mind taking the 6-liter off-roading a little bit. I'd like it to be mild. I still want to do the axle swap on that, and if I do that, I'm probably going to jump up to a 4-inch lift So still not crazy. My 35s will still look good with 4-inch with the 4-inch lift, but definitely give it a nice stance. And then I wouldn't mind Yogi anytime. I hope that helps. And if you ever have any questions, reach out on Facebook or Instagram or on just videos I post. I try to get back to everybody, so I'm happy to help you if you have future questions. But I think it'd be kind of fun, but I would definitely want to go to a place that I know I'm not going to scratch the truck all up. I don't necessarily want to cause damage, but some light trail riding I wouldn't mind doing, getting in some mud, but nothing crazy with either of the trucks. I did go in side-by-sides once this year. That was fun. It was my first time doing that. I hope I get to run them at least one more time this year, but that was a lot of fun. I think that's a really fun off-road thing to do if that's what you're into. They're expensive suckers. Man, are they expensive. It was a friend's side-by-side. I don't personally own one. I'd like to get one day. We'll see. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to close out here. This has definitely been a good live stream. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it well. Guys, get your merch. Link down in the description. I'm looking for some mild trails in Pennsylvania. Doom, if you find, when the 6 liters back, if you find a trail that's pretty mild, I would definitely, I'd definitely go ride a trail. Like I said, I don't want to scratch the white truck up. I mean, the paint's not perfect. It's not a perfect truck, but I'd like to keep it semi-nice. Plus, I really like the wheels and tires on that, so I'd hate to mess them up too. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I guess you guys have been commenting. A lot of you guys have liked, but if you're one of the 10 people in here and you haven't hit that like button, smash that like button. Hopefully you're not one of the 10 people that left the channel. I'm going to say that's probably a YouTube algorithmic anomaly, I believe is what they refer to it as. Maybe just 10 people didn't like what I was doing. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys soon. Merch store down in the description. I don't know what else I want to tell you guys to check out. Check out the video on the BD throttle sensitivity booster if you haven't already. Blame the post office. I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen, like, I've seen me gain a subscriber and lose a subscriber. I've logged on and I'm down 2 or 3. Like, that has happened. And then typically, I haven't had a day where I was negative in a long time. But there's days where you can tell I've lost more than others. But I can't say I've had a day where I was up by so many. And I had YouTube, like, I have a screen with YouTube in the background, and it did the exact same thing. So, and then I've come back. I have had days where it looks like I lost subscribers, and then, there's a lot of stuff, weird stuff that happens through all this. For the day I'm overall up. I was really excited when it looked like I was like, man, that's like 25 subscribers I'm up. So that's obviously not happening. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate all of your support. I've never been to Tampa. I'd like, oh, hi, Izzy. My pup's back. I would love to go to Tampa sometime. I would ideally at some point, the channel is successful enough that I can justify going to like meets up and down the East Coast. I think it'd be cool to tow the white truck to some drag racing events or truck meets. At this time, that's not possible. But hopefully one day. I'd like to definitely do some racing next year with the white truck, and I'll definitely tow it when I go racing. So that's the goal. Anyway, guys, thank you again. Everybody have a good night. Have a good weekend. And take care. I look forward to the next time, guys.